Oh, good, Jeremy. You're good. You're gonna have to watch that. Nothing.
Paul, Jeff, Jeremy, Sarah, Todd. Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Movie.
Go to our faces. What's up, everybody? Getting ready to do a little stream here. I see people are showing up and hanging out and things. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. We got a good show for you today.
Bonjour. Yeah, it's going to be a good show.
Fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to try adding a guest in the middle of the show. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
We'll see what happens. We'll have to pause for the cause here later and get it working and whatnot.
Man. My back is killing me. Oh.
I think we're good to go.
They just hurt your back. No one have kids. They just hurt your back.
I'm going to start recording. Everybody, let me know when you're recording on your
I am rolling
device.
on my side.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Ooh. Did I go down too far? Or did I? Am I good?
All right. Tape's rolling.
All right, cool. We are going to do a sync clap, so I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, clap, all right? Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
I didn't hear anything. Did you hear anything?
Yes, I did. You're good. You're fine. So good. All right. Looks like all the things are rolling. I think we're ready to do a show.
I have no idea what's
Cool.
going on in WWDC. I'm like, I've got it over
Something,
here.
something,
playing, and
emoji,
it
something,
looks
something.
really weird. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
what is going on here? Like,
You-
they just jumped into musical theater or something.
Something,
Oh,
inside
and
joke.
now someone pretending to be
Something,
Tim
something,
Cook and
emojis
the other
you'll
dude
never
is-
use. Yes.
All right, whatever.
Now I can make my face a teddy bear. And then I can send it to all of my friends like you do every day.
Right?
Thanks for making
You don't-
making
you
a
don't-
feature I'm going to use one time
Yeah.
just to play with it. All right. All right. I think we're good. All right. Everyone's recording. We got
Yep.
the clap sync. We're good. And I got my drinks. So that I'll have to at least use the restroom one time. And I think we're good.
Oh my gosh, they're cutting to the audience, and the audience are all emojis.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Just like I said. They love their emojis. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yep.
All right. All right, here we go. Ready?
yes.
All right. Here we go. What's up and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today is a super talented Andy Lefton.
Hey, hello.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us, info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, show topic ideas, artist suggestions. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and mograph.com. Hit us up there. Let us know what you want to hear about. Something noob, something advanced. It doesn't matter. We will talk about all the things Mograph. And this week, there's a lot going on. First of all, we're going to start out by saying, holy crap, Camp Mograph.
Wow, y'all, seriously. So, I don't know. Dave, you should pull up the video that Amy took.
Yeah, it's on
you
my
know?
phone. I don't know.
Let me see. I could probably put it in the Skype chat. But man, it's crazy. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So my wife took video of us as like, the noon time dropped for when tickets went on sale. And I started freaking out. I'm like, oh no, I messed something up, because I've been going back to the site like every single day, being really worried that I was going to mess something up.
Something wasn't set up right or whatever.
And so,
something
like,
wasn't
all of
functioning.
a sudden, it's like, oh, everything's saying sold out. I'm like, oh no, what did I mess up?
And we're all on Skype, by the way. We're like on Skype
And-
with Mark, and everybody's in the room with us in every room, and everybody's just like waiting to see the ticket sales, and you're just like, oh my gosh, the site's broken, it's not working.
Yeah, we're like, oh no. And I couldn't get anything to load to look at it, and it's like, it just turned out that everyone was interested in getting tickets to Camp Mograph, and we sold it out in less than a minute. So
yeah,
big, huge love to everyone who bought a ticket.
Speechless.
For those who weren't able to, we've got a wait list for people, and yeah, it's going to be amazing.
just speechless, man, because I want to say that you figured out it was actually 28 seconds is what it took for tickets
it was so the
sell
actual
out, or...
the treehouse cabins,
the treehouse,
those ones sold out 24 seconds.
Gosh,
it was 24 seconds from the moment that I saw, oh, it's okay, it's on sale, to when it's like, hey, everything's saying sold out. It's like, yeah, it's
unbelievable.
Good. It's good.
We're incredibly humbled by that. We were worried that we weren't going to sell any tickets at all.
Were. I knew we were probably going to sell a handful at least, because there was a few people who told us that they were going to get some. But man, it was like you have no idea how much this helps us kind of like
get this back on the road, really.
Yeah, and also not have to worry about that part of it.
Right. That's always the biggest.
It's like,
yeah.
Because last year, or the last one, it was like, okay, we didn't sell out. We didn't quite break even. We had to cover some of the costs ourselves, so we were kind of worried that was going to happen again this year. Especially with COVID and things up in the air and stuff like that.
It was almost even. But we basically broke even, but.
Yeah, we basically broke even, but this year it's like, okay, so now that we know we've got a little bit extra money that we can spend on like cool new swag, and like maybe upgrade the t-shirts a bit,
and like
for
the next camp. Yeah.
Down payment for the next camp. Absolutely.
Here, can we address this real quick? Here's the thing.
Sure.
We've got enough people on the waiting list to do 2 more camps.
Boy.
Right? Let's just be real and transparent here. Let's talk about this, because I think people want to know, and I think maybe there will be some good suggestions if we take it from this angle. Here's the dilemma as an event host, right? As somebody who's putting on an event right now. Here's the number one thing. You don't get your money from ticket sales now with Eventbrite until after the event's over. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the number one thing. You used to be able to do that if you wanted to and not have to pay a percentage. Now you can't pay a percentage, so we have to front thousands of dollars, first of all, to make it happen. That's number one. So it does help us now having a little extra money from ticket sales to go into the next one.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now. But here's the dilemma. Everybody's like, well, I couldn't get a ticket. I feel so bad. Like, I have friends that could not get tickets. Like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And first of all, my involvement has been very little in this year. You've been heading it up with Mark.
Yeah, me and Mark have been spearheading the whole thing.
And I'm going to help in things down the line and go to camp and do all of that. But I've been doing Mograph stuff. You've been doing Camp Mograph stuff and setting all of this stuff up. So I really didn't have a lot of say. It's like if somebody hit me up and was like, oh, can I get an extra ticket? I'm like, I really don't even know if I can get anyone, or even an advance ticket or anything like that, right? So that's the tough part for me. Just being somebody involved in camp, still not be able to. It's its own business, right? It's separate LLC, the whole deal. Mm-hmm. So the dilemma is, how do you let more people go to camp? Because let's say you add another 50 to 100 people that are on the waiting list, right? Well, that's going to be huge. That's going to be way too many people at camp, number one. Even before COVID, the whole point was to keep it capped at like 120 something and just because then we all get to know each other, right? So you
Yeah.
add those people. Number
You
one,
keep it small, you keep it intimate. That's the whole point of it,
Right.
you know, and that's what it's always been.
so you're going to ruin that
And
if
it's
you do
also-
more sales.
You also have to look at it this way. If we were to add another 50 tickets, which we could hold, you got people sleeping on the top bunk.
That's the second.
And I don't
right.
really, I don't want people. If people want to sleep on the top bunk, they are more than welcome to. But I want them to have that option.
Yeah, 12
you
people
know?
to a cabin, crammed in, top
Yeah.
and bottom bunk
Yeah.
is really, really cramped. You know,
Yeah.
even before COVID. So
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's the dilemma,
Yeah.
right? So you can't add tickets,
Hmm.
and so what do? You know, right now
Yeah.
the only option that looks like actually works is to have more than one camp a year. That honestly, that's the only, and we haven't decided on anything, but that's the solution right there.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
everybody hang tight. We're going to come up with something because obviously we can't do it.
I would love to know what other people think. You know,
Yes.
whether, because there's been a few people on Twitter who's like, oh, there should be a camp like this going year round and stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of
You know?
work. It's its own business, of course. It's also very, it kind of takes the magic out of it. If it's like all the time, then it's just kind of a normal thing. You know, we kind of want it to be magical. We don't want it to be as exclusive as it is. We want to be able to let more people in. So, yeah, the solution would be more than one camp, you know? So, really, that's what it is. And everyone's like, well, you should raise ticket prices at least. It's like, okay, well, the whole point was to make something affordable.
Yeah.
You know, not that ticket prices won't ever change to, go with the times or inflation and costs of camp and all of that. But it's like we're trying to find this delicate balance. So,
Yeah.
Again,
I would love to know what other people think about doing either multiple camps a year or, keeping it at one or, whatever.
Yeah. And we've been talking about the possibility of doing some other event stuff too. We want to do an event again in Dallas. I think we're talking about the possibility of another DFW C4D in March.
Yep.
We've been talking about a road show, possibly, hop in an RV and travel around just to kind of get things going again. Something. But again, humbled. Thank you very much.
Yes,
so much,
thank you so
everybody.
much. I'm so excited
incredible.
for this camp. We've got some amazing things planned, and so excited. Like, I can't believe we sold it out in less than a minute.
And
Y'all are amazing.
There's a wait list. Now, here's the thing. If you're not already on the wait list, I hate to tell you, it's probably not going to happen, but there are people on the top of the wait list right now that we might possibly be able to do something.
We're looking at the possibility of adding a few more tickets. Not many, but a few more.
Yeah.
We're also letting everyone know that because there may be some cancellations where people are like, oh, I just can't come. Okay, well, give your ticket to the next person along the lines.
And another thing I wanted to make sure that we talk about too is that when the people in the checkout process, they didn't know what to put as far as like their flight number and all of that kind of information. We will be sending out. I think it's important to let everybody know, and maybe we'll do an emailer to the ticket holders already soon and just say, look, we're going to send you a thing at some point. It's going to ask for all your information, and so don't worry about that. We will take care of it. We have a great system in place here for taking care of that. So
we had someone email us and be like, I didn't know what to do about the flight information or the shuttle. We may just rent a car, and how much does it cost for the shuttle? And I'm like, totally free.
Right.
That's the whole point of camp.
That's the point. So
it's fun. It's just like a regular camp where you're coming to camp, you're riding the shuttle, the bus to the camp, and then I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on this summer. I just wanted to talk about that. We're going to take a week off in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks.
A little summer vacation. I'm going to go up to Denver and hang out with Ariew a little bit, finally.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
That'll be
fun. We're going to see each other in real life. But no, we're doing an RV trip. That'll be fun.
Are you taking the kid with you?
Yeah. So we're going to go and have a good time there, relax, kind of leave the house for the first time in a couple of years, right? And so the only vacation we went on last year was an RV trip that was literally like across the street from here in the state park.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Just letting people know about that. Also, next Wednesday, so a week from this Wednesday, is going to be the next Maxon 3D Motion show, so make sure you check out that. We got other guests and specials and things coming up this summer, but I wanted to show this new promo for the Summer of Mograph. Here we go.
It's the Summer of Mograph at Mograph.com, featuring your favorite artists. Check Mograph.com/live for schedule.
Be there.
I love the 80s vibe. It's so good.
Yeah, so I was paying homage to the ABC Sunday night movie. I did all the original score from that from scratch, by the by.
Yeah.
All
awesome.
the symphony and the whole entire deal from scratch. So I'll probably post some behind the scenes on that actually on our TikTok. So I wanted to let everybody
nice.
know that the TikTok, I've been doing some quick tips on there. You're going to see some more quick tips and things coming. Some of Dorpy's adventures on the side. It's the only place you can see that stuff besides maybe Instagram stories. I kind of repost them to Instagram stories. Why not? You know? So make sure you check that out. I got one coming up about navigation that I'm probably going to do tonight or tomorrow night. And I'll probably do some behind-the-scenes stuff on Ableton and the different things that went into that promo just for fun. So check us out on there and check out the Houdini course and the Creating the Unreal course. I wanted to give some update on courses because Brandon just finished recording his course last night. So we're full editing mode at this point. Yeah. And then
That's exciting.
Caitlin is very far through her course at this point too. So we're just going into the next round, which is editing promos. There's still some stuff to do on it, but if you're looking forward to their courses, that's going to be the Unreal Ray Tracing course called RTX On. Yeah, we called it that.
Yeah.
You know, I looked into it. I was like, I don't know if there's any reason we can't call it that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be able to Google it, but
Yeah.
you know, we'll see.
Right.
It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever. So the class that Caitlin's doing is the Procreate course. We have not come up with a good name for it because the word Procreate can mean two things.
Right.
So it has not been easy to figure out what this thing is going to be called.
Right.
So we're working on that, and I think that's all I got for the week wrap up. We got a lot to do today, so I'm just going to keep moving here with Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
Light Solo for Cinema 4D is out. This is in the rendering section because I thought this was interesting. It works with all lights for all different engines. So I have not had a chance to play with it, but I'm going to download it.
I went to go
out.
download it and buy it, even though he'd get mad at us for buying it because he always gives us his stuff. And every time I purchase something from EJ, because we're close friends, he gets mad at me and he refunds my money and then just gives it to me.
Yeah.
But I was trying to go buy it under a pen name so that he could actually make the money off of us, but I couldn't get his website to load.
I'm sure he really wants your $7, Matt. Really
Right,
bad.
he does. Yeah.
It's for X.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a useful tool for me. I haven't installed it yet, but that is something that I sometimes feel like I want. Like, where is that light? Where's that one light? What is this light doing right here? So
being able to just solo it is cool. I'm curious though if it needs to be titled light, you know, in order, like how does it differentiate?
I don't know
between all of them.
I'm gonna have to try it out.
Yeah.
So for light groups.
Yeah. So make sure you check that out. Also, creating realistic plants in Octane. This is an Octane tutorial that I just saw somewhere. I'm going to link to it. And I didn't list his name, but he goes over how to set up like a plant skin, but he really goes into like the wavelengths of light with photosynthesis and all of that. And at the end, the only thing a lot of people mention on this is that at the end, he puts kind of this fuzz on it. You know, some plants have fuzz on them. And they said it looked a little bit like felt, which is fine. The thing is, this is a cool look, no matter what it is. It's kind of the fuzzy look, so you could use it for a lot of things.
Fuzz.
Yeah, you could like peach fuzz or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool. I've had to kind of try and do that look before. So the last one I wanted to mention is this is a Redshift thing here. Is Parker Coleman? He posted. He's got a Patreon, and you can check out his Redshift Maxon noise chart that he made, which is pretty nice. He went through all the noises and everything and just charted it out. So make sure you check it out.
Nice.
So, all right, on to the topic of today, which is Andy Lefton.
Hello, Andy.
Hello.
Gentlemen, how are you? What's going on?
Pretty good. We can. That was a long intro today, but
That's okay, man. Gave me a chance to breathe.
yeah, let's you get acclimated to being on the air here. Yeah, it's fun. I think we've met in person before, and we've hung out on Skype quite a bit, like for Maxon stuff.
I was gonna say for the Maxon Roadshow and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure that we hung out in real life at one or two of the shows at least. I know you used to go to.
It's been so long since I've seen a real person.
I know.
Yeah.
You
in
can't
this industry
remember.
that I think I've forgotten what everyone looks like.
Yeah, the last time I think I showed my face at a Maxon event was in 2015, SIGGRAPH.
Yeah.
It's when I was giving the presentation on that short film I did, that Two Worlds, and I don't know, it was a handful of days. It was awesome. So maybe we crossed paths then. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say you kind of haven't been to a lot of them lately, and I think maybe our paths only crossed like at one point.
Yeah, I need to get back on that. Just these last few years, man, have been super, super busy. So I need to make a priority. Yeah, no complaints, but you throw a pandemic on top of it,
Right.
isolation, you get a little stir crazy. But it's all good, man.
Yeah, so I guess you have done quite a bit of stuff for Maxon and presenting and things, and you do quite a bit of other things as well, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But let's kind of go back and start from the beginning, and let's talk about your early upbringing and how it kind of led you to do what you're doing now.
How far back do we want to go? Like the dumpster diving early years, or like?
Oh man. Well, it depends.
Andy, I feel like we've had very similar backgrounds.
Oh, dude, man, I'm telling you, man. I'm sure we have. We could talk about that.
Yeah, tell us about the beginnings. Tell us what really got you kind of moving in this direction.
Let's see. Well, I'm going to throw this out there because it's going to sound cliche, but I swear to God, this is the honest truth, is that the element that got me to where I'm at today was when my dad took me to see Star Wars in '77. And I know everybody says that, but dude, I mean, obviously we know the impact that the film had on us. So
you can tell how old they are because they either say Star Wars or they say Jurassic Park.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to hear these days.
Yeah,
because it's like, okay, we're getting old. What do we do?
Yeah.
But so I mean, visually speaking, and like it was such a catalyst for our imagination.
Yeah.
Being introduced to that when we were younger. So I mean that was it was like when I grow up I want to do this. First it was you see Star Wars, and then I was like then you're like 12 years old, you want to be a NASCAR driver, but then it's like, well. Your love is for the imagination, and so I was living in Colorado at the time, and this was probably this was throughout the 90s, and so I wasn't really sure what I wanted to. I knew what I wanted to do, but like the academic side of the CG industry and the curriculums in school didn't really exist. Like there was only a handful of schools that you could go to be like. You could definitely learn design, but there wasn't like a CG or 3D or production course. And so me being in Colorado, I kind of barreled through all my kind of my general classes, in community college and things of that nature.
Man, the 90s in Denver, Colorado, man, there must have been a lot of grunge going on at that point.
Dude, okay, yeah. And there was I mean, you want to go over to you want to cross that threshold, yeah. But that was another reason why I left Colorado too. So it wasn't to like pursue my goals career-wise. It was also music, because sure, grunge was a thing. Like, I mean, at the time I hated grunge, but like if you look at grunge itself, I mean, it single-handedly took down the hair metal industry.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool thing. But but things stagnated in Colorado for me.
Yeah.
I mean, all my pals are there. I still consider it my home, but just my life then it just kind of stagnated. So I moved to Minnesota, where I am now in Minneapolis, and there was a school here, MCTC, that had a like a production course. It was media production is what it was called, but it covered everything. So it was like 3D animation and video editing and audio production. It was the whole gamut over a matter of, a handful of years. And so I signed up for that. And then going through that course, I realized that it was like, that's where I got my visual fix, was in the digital realm, working with animation. And so, man, it like sucked me in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of where it started. I don't know, just kind of, you build your knowledge and you build your base for a while. I had my own business for 5 years with a old buddy of mine, and learned a lot of experience through that, and freelanced quite a bit.
What programs were they teaching there?
So when I first began, I started on oh God, what was it? It was Strata Studio
Strata Studio Pro.
Oh,
Yes.
It was, God, I think I still have my files on zip drives. But yeah, so I started on that, and then it was like, I always say this to people who are starting out that are kind of overwhelmed by the CG industry. It's like, when I first started, and literally the first day I walked into that media production course with 3D animation, dude, I couldn't even turn on a computer. I didn't know how.
Yeah.
I was not tech savvy. Again, it was like, I'm a punk rock kid with like no experience in computers.
Yeah.
And so I like had to look over to the dude left of me, and I'm like, hey man, like, how do you turn this thing on? And he's like, this button here. And it built from there. And so when I got into Strata, it was the most buggiest thing. I didn't know anything about buggy software, but man, that thing was buggy, and then, that lasted for about a semester. Then the next semester they segued over to Cinema 4D.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And
What
so
year?
I started on 99.
Wow.
Okay.
2000.
See, I was
maybe.
still
think
in
it was 2000.
Infinity at that point. I had gone from Strata from Studio Pro. God, I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
To to Infinity. So Cinema was, when did Cinema come out?
So I started. So this is kind of the mind-boggling thing, because you think of that, dude, and that was like 21 years ago for me, right?
Yeah.
And so I started on 7.1.
Wow.
Or 7.2. Wow. So you're thinking like I started on Cinema when it was already
Pre-Mograph stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it was bare bones, but you go from Strata Studio to Cinema 4D, and it's like, it's apples and oranges, because you're dealing with this professional platform. And it was kind of switching gears there between platforms. It was kind of confusing and overwhelming, but man, I just put my nose to the grindstone. And the thing about Cinema too, and I'm not trying to like tune any horns here, but dude, the interface alone like was really user friendly starting off.
Still is.
It still
think
is.
so.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Totally.
that was the one thing that really drove me to Cinema, was the fact that it was so user friendly. And coming from an After Effects background, it's like, oh, this feels more normal. I get this.
I wish I would have had it back then, because I feel like I wouldn't have bounced around so much on different pieces of software.
When did you get into Cinema?
I really didn't get into Cinema until 2010 or 2009, I think, somewhere in there. 2009, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at that point, you were picking up a pretty powerful package.
Yeah, for sure. But I bounced around so much because of my PC Mac transition to, I was on PC, went to Mac, and now I'm back. But yeah, I wish I would have had Cinema from the beginning, because I was trying to go down the rabbit hole of 3D Max and all these other things. And yeah.
That was my struggle too, man. Like, it was always like, okay, I want to do high-end stuff. I want to kick ass. I like totally want to do this. And everyone's like, Maya, get into Maya,
Yeah,
And I'm like, dude, it's like, I just got into Cinema. Like, I'm scared. I don't want to really like, jump ship on this, because I'm it was like, it was intimidating to go from package to package, because you don't know where you're going to fit it in the industry, because, remember, Max is only video games, and like Maya's only high-end, the industry standard, and Cinema 4D is only design or whatever. And now I didn't like that stigma.
Yeah.
And
that was
I
so
like,
set in stone back then too. It's like,
it was.
You want to do
Totally.
architecture, you have to use 3D Max. You
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, V-Ray and Max, you know, it's like, no, screw that. V-Ray and Cinema, I'm doing that. Like, come on, we could do that. You know, and so that's why I was like, no, man, I could do high-end stuff in cinema. Like, I don't need Maya for this. But it was a moral dilemma too, because, you know, I was like, I'm gonna go to LA and work at all the big houses and whatever, you know, but you're young, you know, and it's like, well, shit, maybe I should use Maya, but I didn't. I was too happy with cinema, you know? Yeah.
So where'd you go from there? So you learned stuff. How did you get into doing actual work for people?
So, my instructor when I was in school, so 2000, 2001, super great dude. I still talk to him now. His name is Greg Kubera. He got me an internship at a local, here in Minneapolis, a local studio, which was called Fluke. But they were also, and if I get this wrong, Alec, if I get this wrong, I'm sorry. But they had an umbrella company, which was Hybrid Medical. Okay. And so I know you guys are probably familiar with Hybrid. You know, they're one of the biggest, you know, medical studios here in Minneapolis, you know, and everywhere. But so I started there as an intern. So I was working at Fluke, but I was also doing some stuff for Hybrid on the side because they were under the same roof. And so, yeah, that's where I started. That lasted about a year and a half as an intern. Then I took off on my own. I freelanced for a few years. Then I started my own business, which was called 8 Point Productions. And we just it was kind of a multimedia thing. So it wasn't just, you know, 3D, it was After Effects and motion design and, you know, things of that nature, just to kind of take any job you could to stay afloat. So I did that for about 5 years. And man, it was, you wore a lot of hats during that experience. So not only were you the production artist, but you were also, you know, art director and creative director and whatever.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot with that, you know, dealing directly with clients. And then, you know, that unfortunately folded. So my partner and I at that point, business partner, we went our separate ways, and then just freelanced for a while, and then kind of hooked up with Joel Dubin at Mad Microbe, and they were looking for an artist, and then I jumped on with them, and it's been happiness ever since.
Are you still with Mad Microbe?
I am.
Is there somebody else who presents on a regular basis that we might know from Mad Microbe?
I know there's been a few presenters.
There's been a few presenters.
Yeah.
I know my buddy Patrick, you know, that I work with at Mad Microbe. I think you guys actually did a show with him. Maybe.
Patrick's
yeah.
Laterno? Yeah.
He's probably watching right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I know Joel has done some presentation at SIGGRAPH. But you know, it's great there. We're super busy. So I'm there right now as a kind of a senior CG generalist, also working as an art director at times when needed. And yeah, it's amazing, man. We have a killer time at Mad
you guys produce good work.
Thanks.
Like really good work.
Thanks. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I'll bring
the
up.
The team's incredible, man. I mean, speaking of software, you know, the Stinger. Yeah, we're I mean, you know, we jumped into Redshift, now we're doing Redshift, you know, and now it's like, you know, there's, you know, Houdini starting to come into the picture, so it's growing.
Nice.
Misfit Skull.
Yeah, I'm curious about, like, in the medical field, as far as like Houdini, there's got to be some really great procedural stuff that you can do when it comes to medical animation, for sure.
Yeah, we brought on
subsurface.
Man,
so
look at that! Like,
oh my stomach lesion! Look at that thing.
That is one pretty stomach lesion.
Yeah.
That is the prettiest stomach lesion I've ever seen. Got all the hairs and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah, that would, dude. And again, man, you know, Redshift hair. You know, doesn't take much. You know, you can create it and get a killer look.
Yeah.
I was texting Ariew there. I realized I have my time wrong by an hour.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So as you can see too, as well, and another thing that's weird is that a lot of bands, which I never expected, like a lot of bands over the last decade or more, have been coming to me to do album art.
That's cool.
So yeah, so it's like some of the stuff that it's kind of a wide gamut. Yeah, like some Misfits, Sam Hain stuff. Like I don't know,
Mhm.
it's crazy.
That's cool. Man, it's gorgeous.
So tell us about your day to day when you're working on obviously not pieces like this, but your medical
Yeah,
stuff.
medical
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us about your day to day on that because we've had a few people on the show that do medical. It's very interesting to hear the process. It's a little bit different than I think a lot of people expect.
Yeah. It's it's a constant learning process, and I don't have any extensive medical background, so it's not like I went to school.
Mhm.
Thankfully, Mad Microbe, a lot of the folks there, like Joel and Mitch, and a lot of the people that have been there the longest, have some of that experience just from working in it so long. But we also have people that have degrees in some of the medical and science realms as well.
Mhm.
So that helps. So having them there as consulting or advisory, like it's so beneficial. So for me personally, it's always I think what makes me happy. I'm trying to find
Mhm.
the proper expression here, but what makes me happy to like get up in the morning and do this is that you are constantly learning about stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're dealing with science and medical,
Mhm.
this it can't be wishy-washy. Like you need to know the specifics on why this is happening, why these drugs are doing this, and the MOAs of this, MOAs of that, and what's happening in the body. And you're constantly learning. So getting up every day, you know, putting your nose to the grindstone, and knowing that the next day is going to be something different and new it's thrilling, man. I mean, I know it sounds kind of corny, but geez, fun,
I
man.
I've done a bunch of really stupid jobs over the years, and I feel like I've learned like a ton of useless information. You
Right.
know, do you
Algebra.
feel like?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Not
Not
useless
necessarily the
per
medical
se,
stuff
but
is like
Yeah.
useless, but like do you feel like you've learned so much about the medical profession just working there?
I mean, okay. I mean, maybe to not that extent, but yes, maybe
Hmm.
to some degree where it's like I feel confident in like if the client or we're sitting down and we're doing a daily and we're talking about a project that's coming up or a project that's ongoing and we talk about, specific elements of the job. I
Hmm.
feel confident that I know what everybody is talking about. But,
Okay.
there's the other side where it's like I need to ask questions because
Yeah.
I don't know why this drug is doing this to this
right.
aspect of
Hmm.
the science. So again, it goes back to saying you're constantly learning about this stuff, but the more you do it, the more everything makes sense.
Sure.
And it's yeah, your knowledge is constantly growing, and I live for that stuff.
See,
And then working with a team, like this team of people are some of the best people I've ever worked with.
How many people are there?
Whew, dude, that's actually a good question because
Uh-huh.
things have been so crazy, like crazy good, that we're constantly looking for more artists.
Hmm.
So right now, geez, guys, if you're watching, I might be wrong on this, but I
Uh-huh.
want to say between 13 and 15.
Okay.
okay.
And when
That's
we
a good team.
started,
That's a good sized team.
it is, man, but also like working remotely too. It's insane how well oiled the machine is,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
because we also take the time to kind of do stuff like this where we speak every day. We talk about what's going on with projects and who's doing what, just a
Mhm.
daily, but
Mhm.
at the end of
Call
the week
in.
we have
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's usually audio, but by the end of the week we every Friday we meet face to face.
Yeah.
So we can have that personal intimate time to, do this and like really see how people are doing, and it works, man. It totally
Yeah.
works.
Totally.
Yeah, the thing is, like Veronica Hayes was on the show a few weeks
Mm,
ago, and she does
she's
medical
amazing.
animation, and
Hmm.
she's amazing, but she has a really extensive background, kind of in this
Yep.
Yeah,
field,
her
She
degree is specifically in medical illustration.
and
Yeah, she
so
works with
Yeah.
us.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so my question was
Mhm.
going to be on that, like without having like the medical background, did that take a while for you to really pick up speed and get going on that? That had to be,
Oh yeah. Yeah, because again, I didn't have a background.
yeah,
It's not like I went and got my bachelor or PhD in some
right.
medical field. So yeah, it's like you have to be willing to learn what these things are.
Yeah.
And it's, even sometimes it's as simple as like layman speak, where it's like, okay, so, for instance, you'll be talking with the client or you'll be talking with each other, and then you want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So you'll say, hey, okay, so then what you're saying is I want the blue thing to come down and then attach to the red thing. And then, so it's like, sometimes you kind of put things in a generalized sense like that, but, it works,
And how do you decide, like, I guess in my head at least, there's two different types of medical animation. There's the stuff that's there to just teach something, for example,
like explainer ones,
like it's more like a
Yeah.
diagram of something, and then there are the ones that are like super pretty, like extensive shot with depth of field and cilia on everything, and you know what I mean, just like
and that's an interesting point too. And sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
No.
But that's the thing too, is that there is a technical side and there's a creative side.
Mm-hmm.
And I came from the creative side. I still work in the creative side, but this is kind of the point where I'm starting to now move into the technical side of stuff. So you're kind of teaching the other side of the brain, a balance between stuff. So it's a fine line, but again, this is what the team is made up of. We have the heavy creative and we have heavy technical, heavy science, and then we meet in the middle and it works.
Yeah. I know when I think medical animation, Mad Microbe is the first company that I think of.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that many, but it is.
Matt's like, it's also the
because of
only
all the-
company that I know of.
No. It's because I have seen so many presentations from you guys and stuff like that, and every time you're talking to a C4D artist who does some sort of medical animations and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, I worked over at Mad Microbe for a little bit,
Like, there was a time when the amount of kind of medical animation houses was very limited.
Oh yeah,
very, very limited. And I remember that because I kind of started there. But now it's like, there's more, it's friendly competition, but there's more competition and there's more houses. And at least from what I've experienced, I don't think it's like a cutthroat kind of thing. Like I said, I think everything is friendly and people work together, because we're all kind of striving for the same thing, but there's way more opportunity now in medical animation,
Well, when, because Eric Small was on, we talked to Eric for a while actually about the possibility of doing a course, doing a medical animation course. But when it came down to it, though, I think the problem was that we weren't sure about people's backgrounds and how much background they would have to have. I feel like coming from doing medical animation about the time you started and about the time you got into it, this is just the vibe that I get, is that because the animation for all of this was so new at the time and it was just kind of like, coming into existence, I feel like people like you who got in at the beginning didn't necessarily have to have as much medical background as people now, because talking to some of these people now, it's like, oh, you want to get into medical animation right now? Okay, you might need to know a little bit more. Do you feel like now if someone was going to get into it, they would need to go to school, or is there still a possibility of getting your foot in the door somewhere without
That's
that?
a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question. And that does kind of serve me well too, because like I said, I didn't have that much medical experience, like it was just kind of the basic knowledge of stuff. But you're still asking a lot of questions, and it doesn't matter, there's two sides of the coin here. You can have all the experience in the world being a medical animator, but you're still going to ask questions.
Right.
Yeah.
But of course.
But the other side of the coin is that if you get any of the science wrong, you're done. Because that is the number one thing about medical animation, is the message.
Right.
You don't get the message right, it doesn't matter how pretty it looks. It doesn't matter if you're flying through a cellular Death Star trench type of shot. Well, seriously, like it may look beautiful, but the science may be wrong in what's happening. And so it's good to have kind of maybe a basic knowledge, but you can also come in as kind of being an open book. Because it's you're not officially the one directing your own shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you have people on the team to help direct you, so you have that element too. You know, so
When-
no, you don't have to like have some wacky degree.
So the question is like, so say for example, you've got, I don't know, like what type of person do y'all look to hire? You know, like, are you looking for looking for someone with a degree with a medical illustration background, or if someone's just a super badass, you know, 3D animator, would you be more willing to hire them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean the best of both worlds, but it's kind of like it's like if you're a wicked badass, you know, 3D animator and you know what you're doing, then again it goes back to what I mentioned earlier. Like there are people, you know, on the Bad Microbe team, you know, that are going to be like, okay, you may not know what this disease consists of or what the drug interacts or how it interacts with this and that, but we'll show you.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean,
good.
Even for as long as I've been doing it, you know, it's like I still have to consult and be like, okay, you know, I may be owning this project or working with, you know, on the team or something like that, but I'm going to still need advice on some of this stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think if you're a badass artist, that's going to look pretty good.
Yeah.
So what else do you work on? Do you, I saw a lot of stuff on your ArtStation, so obviously you're doing some other things. Saw some substance painter in there and things. What else do you work on? Do you do anything like shorts? Do you do side work? Doing other types of projects?
God, side work. No, dude. No, personal stuff is like, I love doing illustration, 3D art illustration. I love working in short film, and I'm currently been working on an idea over the last year or two. But where I'm at right now with personal work is I'm really doing my damnedest to get into Unreal. I mean, this is where the technology's going. This is where, I mean, dude, that's a whole nother conversation, but it's like, if you don't keep up with this stuff, you're going to fall by the wayside, man.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know, because I mean, if you compare to our stories from 10, 20 years ago to where we are now, you don't keep up with it, man, you're going to, you have to keep up with it. So I'm doing my best.
I still feel like I'm falling behind. You know,
you always
with the
do,
new
and I do
versions
too.
of cinema and all the stuff. You know,
I
still feel like I don't understand fields as well as I should.
You just don't want to be the guy who, I don't know, think about 2012 when cinema was like really starting to get that momentum, and you had GSG really gaining momentum and all of that, and there was always the one or two people that are like, yeah, I still use Lightwave. And you're like, really?
Why?
And you don't want to be that guy. Yeah, soft homage. And not that they were bad programs, but like that's kind of the feel, right? Like you would have like the 55-year-old dude who was like super into soft homage show up for a job interview, and you're like, dude, I don't want to be that guy. Yeah.
And you're so right. You guys are right, because it's like, those are true stories, man. I was that pretentious jerk too that was like, Lightwave,
right?
Come on, you know. But here I am. I can't understand freaking Houdini or whatever. You know, it's like, you know, you can't talk. You know, it's like, you know, it really is on the artist too. It's like you could probably use an older package as long as you're you know, you're a damn good artist. You know, but you have to be willing to move.
Yeah, because if you have to work with other people, you have to know the software. So, so if 5-10 years from now, there's, I don't feel like it's going to be all real time and all Unreal or anything like that. No. But you will be working with that as a motion designer, especially if you're just getting into it right now. Man, like you've got to know.
One of my favorite short films of the past like few years was actually done all in Lightwave.
Oh, which one?
It's funny.
What
was that oh gosh. It was the one with the really hyper weird looking dudes, and it was like the spoof of like
should drop a link.
Yeah, I need to find out what it's called. Yeah. But they did a Kickstarter video to try and sell it, but it was all soft homage and Octane, you know. And they did a spoof of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find what it's called.
Yeah.
It's like
dude, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I was I'd like to use this as past tense, but I feel like I was one of those kind of pretentious artists where I was like, no, I'm not going to get into Maya. I'm not going to get into Max. I'm going to do everything those things can do in Cinema 4D. And I kind of feel like that's where I'm glad that I sort of stuck to my guns on that, because I feel like that's where things are. Like cinema like conquers a lot, you know?
Yeah.
But you also do other stuff, by the way. I wanted to bring that up because I feel like
Well, I do.
I feel like Matt, you might have some
Yes,
similar
let's
interests.
Talk about this. Let's talk about this.
So you do
God.
a weekly radio show.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
It's okay.
It's
So
not
it's,
Cinema 4D.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, okay, so my days are filled up with everything CG, you know, and it's like in my free time everything's filled up with, well, everything CG and music. But it's like, yeah, I do it's actually a segment. So there's a radio show here in Minnesota called Roar of the Underground, and it's like a lot of like extreme music. So, you know, metal and thrash and, you know, grind and stuff like that. But I do a segment during the show where I have about a 20-minute slot or so, and I do a lot of like kind of punk hardcore. You know, try to get more exposure on that side of music.
Like, is it current punk hardcore, or is it
It's everything.
okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think like my last show, like I had bands. I don't even know if you guys are familiar, but like this band Hell Crusher, who's kind of like this legendary, you know, hardcore punk UK band, and like this other band, Deadly Rain, who was from Austin. Buddy might play guitar in them, and then this band, Instinct of Survival from Germany, who are like super incredible. So yeah, like I do a lot of like punk hardcore stuff. I mean,
That's cool.
I've been doing that stuff for like since I was a teenager. You know, so that's my shtick.
So you have a little bit of recording background then. Do you do any music recording as well?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I'm in 2 bands right now, and 2 albums are being pressed right now.
Nice.
Oh dang.
Yeah, one band that I've been in for about 12, 13 years now. We're working on our 11th or 12th album or something like that.
Wow.
So we tour and stuff, you know. I mean, I don't know, like, are you guys familiar with the band Voivod? Do you know Voivod? They play with Metallica and stuff a lot. But anyway, the drummer of Voivod, I was in a band with him for a while. We lasted about 5 years. We toured the world for a while.
Wow.
So yeah, 3 albums from that band. They were called Tau Cross, which
is this on Spotify? Can we find this? Can we look this up?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
That band like broke up in a fiery crash though. Like
Nice.
I don't recommend looking into why we broke up. But yeah, so I'm in 2 other bands right now, and I'm in this band called War Plague, which you know, kind of crust punk, stenchcore kind of thing. We've been around for well over a decade. We tour when we can. Albums always being released. Like we just wrote an LP over the pandemic. Then I'm in another band, which is kind of made up of, it's more remote, you know? So it's me here, my buddy Tom, who's in Seattle.
Do you just record tracks and send them to each other? Is that how you do it?
Yeah. So Steve, who's the other guitarist. So it's this band, which is called Fear of the Known. It's kind of made up of 2 veteran, kind of punk veteran dudes from the old Bristol scene from the 80s. So it's like members of like Chaos UK and members of Disorder. And so I'm playing with those guys now. And yeah, so we'll write a riff to a click track. We got our drummer who's in Japan.
That's funny.
It's insane, dudes. Yeah, we use Reaper for a lot of that stuff. So we track our guitars, track our instruments, and then Steve does all the mixing and mastering. And then we have a label out in the Czech Republic who is releasing our albums. Yeah,
that's interesting. That it's so. I mean, it's just like we do stuff with Cinema 4D or anything else. If we're collaborating with other people, we don't really think about it. But I don't know why it seems different to me. But collaborating on tracks, I think, is with audio. It seems harder to do because you have to have a vibe with people when you're recording audio sometimes, and it kind of separates that whole thing. If you don't have a chance to rehearse with somebody in person, it probably feels a lot different trying to record those tracks when you don't know the people.
Oh, dude. When I was in that band I mentioned that died a horrible death called Tau Cross, it was a remote band too, and again, like that was made up of veteran dudes that I grew up with. So I was playing in this dream team of people, and like, dude, we were being offers all over the world of like, you tour here, we'll fly you here, whatever, just all kinds of cool stuff. So our entire career before touring was done remotely. So the album we released was done remotely. It was mixed in Scotland. It was released in Philadelphia. Like, it was crazy. Like, so then when we decided to do a tour, we've never played together. So dude, it was nuts. We had 2 days. We had 2 days to meet up. We met up here in Minneapolis. I had a buddy down the street that had a studio in his basement. We all met up for 2 days, and we never played together, but we practiced all the songs remotely. So when we walked in the room together, it was like, okay, here's a set list. And it clicked. It was insane. Like, all the songs were played perfect. Like, we studied them for so long.
That's awesome.
Me and I was in a Ramones cover band called Cretans for a while.
Send me a link.
So it was basically, hey, we had a gig, and I was like, okay, so you learn all these songs.
Yeah.
And literally,
they're not hard.
We did no, they're not at all. So the first time we played together was on stage,
Oh,
really?
And yeah. So me and the drummer had gotten together, a few times, and so we had just played, but we hadn't added the bassist in at any point, And so, and she was just a badass. Like, she showed up, and it's like, oh, this feels fuller now. This feels right,
Totally.
And she knew all the background harmonies and everything. It was like, oh, this is good. Yeah.
So it worked out.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, it's Ramones stuff too. It's like, as long as you're tuned to standard E, I think everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's the same 3 chords, but you just reverse them every other song.
Yep.
I love the Ramones, man. I grew up on them, man. That's part of my roots.
Absolutely. That was the
awesome,
first real punk rock band that I got into, and moved into like Screeching Weasel and more of the,
we played with them before.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I know
That's
Ben.
cool.
Ben Weasel, he's good. He's a little out there, but he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Sarah was asking in the chat. She got War Plague. What were the other 2 bands?
Oh.
The names?
Okay, so interesting. I actually did art for one of our...
Ooh.
This is the art I did for... it was a War Plague split EP with this band called War Wound. From the UK. So it's War Plague with 2 forward slashes.
Okay.
This was a Japanese release, actually.
What's the other 2 bands?
I was
so
just
the other
to it
2
in my
bands,
earpods. It sounds good. I like it.
Yeah, it's just thrashy stuff. So the other band that's the latest one is Fear of the Known, but we go by FOTK, which is there's a band camp of that, and then the old band, which I'm kind of reluctant to talk about it because even Rolling Stone did an issue on it, like how he died, but
all the more reason we want to hear the dirty gossip.
So that band was called Tau. Yeah. That band was called Tau Cross. So it was TAU and then the word cross.
Okay.
And no, nothing religious. It was just based off the insignia. So yeah.
Well, we'll let everybody Google that and figure it out.
I'm adding them to my bands to explore playlist.
Yeah.
So what do you record on if you're doing tracks? At home, what do you use?
Like what software?
Yeah, what software do you use?
Reaper. I used Pro Tools for a while, and that's just, it's too buggy, too heavy. Reaper is like cinema. It's just you pop it open, and it's just like, okay, this is super awesome and easy,
Yeah.
So I track here, and I got an audio MBox interface that I plug my guitar into, and just track.
Yeah, I saw some memes on TikTok. It's like people who use Pro Tools, people who use Ableton, and people who use yeah. And so it's just I can't remember like what the different levels were and why. I mean, I'm kind of an Ableton person myself, and I'm a Logic person when it comes to the basics. But love Ableton.
Yeah, I almost got into Ableton, but I think is Ableton the one that's only Mac based, or is that Logic?
No, that's Logic. Logic.
Okay,
only,
Logic.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think it was Ableton. I was debating what to get into, but our audio engineer here in Minneapolis at the studio, he uses Reaper. So I was like, well, it just kind of makes sense that if I need to track here and send him something,
for sure.
Yeah, it'll work.
The reason I brought it up is because I was curious if, as far as Cinema 4D goes, as far as doing 3D goes, is there anything that you feel like you've learned from one that helps you in the other somehow, whether that's in the creative process or technically or whatever it is. I feel like that I understand Ableton better the more I go because I understand 3D programs a little bit.
Oh, totally, totally. I mean, it is sort of a navigation thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like when you've worked in cinema or Photoshop, you know that any other program, no matter what it's going to be, is going to have a file menu and it's going to have an edit menu. It's going to have a preferences option.
Right.
So that's bare bones, but you know it's going to have it, and all software kind of have that. You know, so it's like if people mess up UIs and kind of screw around with that, you're going to lose your base. You know, but yeah, that's one thing is that you know that when you open something new, it'll have that there. And you know where to go, and that's kind of a starting point for me. So yeah, when I opened up Reaper, it's like, okay, I know files there, I know edits there.
Yeah.
You know, okay, there's the play button, there's a record button.
I think a lot of people who are into Cinema 4D or in 3D and also do music, I think it might even make a good TikTok, like showing in Ableton what the equivalent is to something, right? Because
that's not a bad idea.
It's like at first it's hard to understand Ableton. And then you look around and you're like, oh, this is the equivalent to this. This is the equivalent to that. Like, this is, like, I'm always making these comparisons to Cinema 4D. So to show maybe the similarities would be a good TikTok or something, because you've got plugins, for example, right? Like all the plugins or filters or whatever you're going to put in for that individual track. It kind of makes the same sense as far as like signal flow. Sometimes I do wish that it worked kind of like in a nodal-based type way instead. I think there are some that do that. There are there's softwares like Reason, for example. If you ever use Reason, you'd hit the tab button and it would flip over all of your racks and you would see the cables. Like they had dynamics. The cables would fall and you could repatch the entire thing. In Reason, yeah, you could repatch from the back, so you could do.
I've never heard of that.
It's like a nodal system, right? You're just patching the cables.
Yeah. That's
an
interesting way of putting it. I guess I never really thought of it like that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, you just patch it all around. So sometimes, and you can do this technically because you can bust things. I know, but sometimes I want something to look a little more nodal based. But
yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to some motion graphics stuff.
Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to do some links and just give you a couple links that I didn't give. I had some of them up in the Ravcock section, but wanted to mention a couple videos that I found this week. I haven't been talking about a lot of videos or tutorials or anything that I found recently, mainly because just we've been busy and I just haven't come across anything. And now that we had a little bit of a moment to breathe, I have bookmarked a few, like the ones I talked about earlier, and then like this one here, 3 reasons to use a character picker in animation. That's really good. Make sure you check that out. Make sure also you check out Jags. He's got a YouTube channel you should definitely check out, and he did a video on storage management, was talking about these Kingston adapters and things. So I'm going to link to that in show notes. You can check that out and subscribe to Jags's channel as well. We're going to,
good stuff.
We want to chat more, and we're going to be working together on some things coming up. I think people are going to enjoy that. Jags is on our Halo team as well.
Yes.
Halo.
Yeah. We have a Halo day coming up.
Dave,
Friday.
I just put in the chat. It was the short film was called Black Holes. They did it in lightweight.
I just pulled that up.
Yeah, it's good.
right.
It's like it's beautiful and it's weird and I love it.
I'll put that in the show notes as well.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll check that out after.
Let's see. Also, this is a really, really great short, kind of like with video animation mixed in. It's called Dynamo Dream. It says episode 1. I guess he's planning on making more, but it's called Salad.
Oh yeah,
Mode.
I saw that. That was the Blender.
Yeah, and that was done in Blender. This
dude.
is it Ian Hubert?
Yes.
There's a video of Ian Hubert like on world building in Blender that you should definitely check out, and check out this Dynamo Dream because it's so much work. So much work.
Like dude, I had to like slow it down and like go
Yeah.
through stuff like, like this dude did an amazing amount of work on this.
Yeah. It's just kind of the amount
It's
of like camera
live
matching
action
and-
mixed with
It's
with it,
mixed.
right?
Mixed, yeah.
Okay.
but it's
I was gonna
done
say
really
because
well.
those people look very real.
Yeah.
I know. That's the
Yeah.
first thing I was
This
like.
guy just
"Man."
beat Metahuman.
I know. I was like,
right?
Metahuman's doing really well. Yeah. Brandon Clement sent it to me actually. So he's
I
been
saw
way
that
into
video
Blender.
last week or something.
Mhm.
That's another thing too, man. It's like, gosh, should I get into Blender?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I was complaining the other day because my program kept crashing. I'm like, what's the point of me paying $1,000 a year for a program that crashes on me 8 times a day when I could just use Blender and expect the same thing?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but
You know?
that's the problem is you would expect the same thing, and then you can't call
Yeah.
tech support.
Mm.
99% of the time when my program crashes, I was doing something absolutely ridiculous. I do have to say that.
Unless it's Adobe's stuff.
I have
then
learned
it
to
just crashes
recognize-
because you hit play.
You know,
I have gotten to the point
Yeah.
now where every
That's
time it
true.
crashes, my After Effects crashes, and it says, "Tell us what you were doing beforehand." I say, "Oh, sorry, my bad. I hit play. I know I shouldn't have done that."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They're
hit the
getting
play
all
button,
this
dude.
like sassy back talk from me where it's like, "Oh, it's totally my fault. I was doing
Well,
something
that's
that
the
I
thing.
shouldn't have been
It just
doing."
I opened the
screws up.
program. I apologize.
Yeah, that's how it feels. But when I screw something up in Cinema, it's either because 90% of the time it's something I was doing in Octane, right? So
Yeah.
it was me doing like something I shouldn't have done, going
Mhm.
forward a frame when motion blur and a bunch of things are going. Or maybe I'm working on something in Cinema and I end up setting a setting where it shouldn't be, right? Oh, I typed in 0.01 into a field. Ooh.
Yeah, instead of
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to say if they could come up with something where I could. It's supposedly you hit the escape key and it cancels.
Yeah.
But if you could do that and have a button that said, "For the love of God, stop doing what you're doing
Yes.
right
Yeah.
now," that's probably my biggest gripe. But I feel like, usually it's something that I'm
Yeah.
doing wrong that
See,
causes
the
the
way
problem.
Houdini works, you hit escape a couple of times and it's like, okay, I'll stop.
Yeah.
I'll stop. And it's like that is good stuff right there.
Yeah.
I want that everywhere.
Yeah. The escape key should work.
Right?
Yeah.
I want first time. Bing,
Yep.
it's done.
Yeah. So, yeah. Everything crashes. That's the problem. Everything crashes. I don't have a program that
Yeah.
doesn't crash anywhere. Like, name
Yeah.
a program that never crashes ever.
It never crashes ever.
What's a program that has
Reaper.
never even my Notes app has crashed before. Like, everything has crashed. So
Yeah.
it's just about, like, knowing either, A, you've got a program that, is working on fixing crashes, or B, knowing what is going to cause a crash. Like, if I just type something into Notes and it crashes, I know that's just because something happened. If I'm doing something in After Effects and it crashes, that's just because it's After Effects. If I'm
Right.
doing something in
Yeah.
Cinema, there's usually a reason. Oh, you had 42,000
Yeah.
clones of something without instances. Like,
Yeah.
something
Your
like
IPR
that.
is still running in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always something you're
Right.
doing, or you're trying to do something that's way too complicated for what you're. There's always a reason for me, and I'm like, okay, I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
But not that Cinema never crashes, but for no reason. I'm just saying, like, most of the time, I feel like it's my fault, especially when I'm in
Yeah.
Octane, because Octane
I've
is
had these-
usually the reason.
Like, is it operator error or
Yeah.
is that a software thing?
Yeah.
I've had these really weird crashes lately, and it's probably because I'm on an older version. I'm on an
That's the other
outdated
thing.
version of Cinema as well, because we've had some color issues and stuff like that on this project.
Yeah.
And so now I'm finally getting back to upgrading. But there's this really weird issue on the initial release of R23 that only I deal with on this one computer. It doesn't do it on my other computer. But when I go into the 4 view, and I move something in Z space from the top, it will always crash. It will always crash,
That's bizarre.
especially splines. Like if I move splines over another spline, it crashes on me every time. It's
Huh.
interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah. But it doesn't do it on my other computer.
Did you send that to Maxon? Were you like, hey,
I'm
this,
not gonna worry about it. I mean, it's an
no.
outdated version.
Well, that's-
I'm sure
yeah,
if I
that's-
updated my version.
Right.
See, and
After
that's the
this
thing.
week.
It's like the amount of times that I want to complain about something where it's like, well, have you updated your software? Well, no, because I'm on an older version of, I'm stuck on this one for right
After
now.
next week, man, we're gonna be upgrading everything. Projects
R24, the newest version of
let's do it.
Octane.
Let's get it
It's gonna be
going.
good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
And we got to move our plugins over there again. I never even got Forester on R23, let alone.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's a great plugin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more I wanted to bring up real quick, and this is not motion graphics related, but it might help you if you're making a video for something. This is called Playphrase, and it's playphrase.me. And all you do is you type in a phrase, and it shows you a ton of movie clips with that phrase in it.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it the other day on TikTok.
It was on a TikTok.
And it was, you couldn't go to it.
To do your board or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
But it was overwhelmed, and you couldn't access it because the TikTok pushed it over the edge. So now it's working if you want to check it out. So, yeah, it's really great. You can put anything in there, and it says it. I'd bring it up on the show, but I'll probably get like dinged with 1,000 copyright bills, So
they don't have "damn it, dude." All right. All right.
Put Mograph. What do you get with Mograph? It'd probably be like something that sounded like Mograph phonetically or something. It's probably using closed caption. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Mograph Recommends, and then we're going to do the drop. Get Ariew on the line here. I know he's standing by. And so, Andy, we're going to ask you some of your favorites, and these can be recent favorites or they could be all-time favorites. It doesn't matter.
Put me on the spot. All right.
I know Matt has a couple things he may want to bring up as well, but we're going to start with your favorite movie.
Jeez, man. Can I name a few? Or
Sure.
Can I just start firing them off?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Red Dawn.
Okay.
Aliens.
Yes.
Okay. But I kind of need to throw a disclaimer in here, okay?
All right, let's hear.
We brought this up earlier, but I am an absolute freakish Star Wars nerd. But when somebody comes up to me and they say, hey, what's your favorite film? I'm not going to say Star Wars because, duh, that's a given.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like in your
like
DNA.
saying, who do you want to have dinner with? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Of course, right?
Yeah, duh, yeah. I mean, call them up.
Answers.
Let's go.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's in your DNA, It's like, no kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Amadeus. Absolutely love Amadeus.
Oh, so
nice.
good.
Oh, dude.
So good.
What was I been meaning to watch again? Monsters, dude. I want to see Monsters again. That movie was so good.
That
was Gareth
Edwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him speak at NAB after Monsters came out. He spoke at the Adobe booth, right? It was life-changing seeing him speak because there was 12 people in the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's like, who knew that he was going to go on to do Rogue One, and Godzilla and stuff like that. And here he is just speaking for 12 different people at the Adobe booth. And it's like, he went through all of like his comping and stuff like that. Real funny story that he said, when he submitted Monsters to it was like some film festival or something, they hadn't finished all the 3D work. They were working in Max at the time. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And so on the submission, it said insert monster here. Monster goes here, when they submitted it, and they got accepted. And someone asked him, they said, hey, I sure hope you fixed the, monster goes here. And he goes, oh, yeah, we got a really nice font now. It's a really nice font.
That's odd. Yeah. Got a really nice font to as I keep on going with this proxy here.
Right.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Super nice guy. Got to meet him afterwards.
Dude, that'd be killer, man.
When actually the very first Camp Mograph, I reached out to his management team, and I was like, I would love to have him come and speak. But I feel like he's a hard get. I think he's kind of like shied away from Hollywood. Yeah,
he seems kind of reserved, maybe modest, which is good. I think that's a killer element. You should
absolutely.
Have that,
but I loved Rogue One. I thought he did a fantastic job.
Can I say something that's going to be controversial? And
Sure.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Rogue One. I'm being very serious now.
Yeah.
Rogue One is how a Star Wars film needs to be. After the
Absolutely.
I liked
Dude,
that one
everything
better
about
than
that
the other
film.
ones.
Totally agree.
Yeah, recently.
Oh my
yeah.
God, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, the rest of that stuff,
Agreed.
again, controversial. All that stuff's irrelevant to me.
Mhm.
Rogue One is the film.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
are we going to get a Rogue 2?
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
You're
Come on.
fired.
Oh. Click, I'm out of here.
Now you need the Dorpy face.
Yeah.
Dorpy with
Here, I'll just do this.
What?
But no, Rogue One was such a good movie, you know, and it didn't well, yes, it was in the Star Wars universe, like similar to the way the Mandalorian is in the Star Wars universe,
Right.
but it doesn't feel like
Or the
Star
Ewok Adventures.
Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is
Yeah.
I don't care if this gets me in trouble either, but it's like
You're fine.
Rogue One didn't really have that Disney touch, if you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, even
Yeah,
though
absolutely.
it's like it doesn't have that. Mandalorian is fantastic, but it has that kind of Disney touch to it,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
And
yeah, yeah.
that's expected. It's webisodic, whatever, or episodic, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, Rogue One is great, man. Like, it is the first Star Wars film since all the new films have been being made since '99 that I get the adrenaline rush. And
Yeah.
that, I get the chicken skin and the hair standing up,
Yeah.
It's like that film does it, dude. And it's like Aliens, man. I can just watch it and watch it and watch it.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more. Like, do you think maybe they'll do a prequel to that at some point? Like, the
Why
thing
would you
is, I
need
want
to?
more of that. I want.
No, you don't, dude, because that's the
No.
thing, man. It's so perfect. It's like a
Uh-huh.
sacred cow. Just don't touch
Yeah.
it.
Well, maybe not
Yeah.
more of that, or maybe okay, okay,
mean,
not
I
a
hear you.
not a prequel, and obviously not another. You can't have. I don't want to do any spoilers, but
Yeah.
of course everybody's seen it at this point. But whatever. But I think something from that same era of that part of the universe, or
Yeah.
something.
Well,
I like
that's
that
a
it
good
was kind
point.
of a different story. It was kind of
Yes.
over here.
Yeah, well, it was anti-hero. It had that
Yeah.
anti-hero element to it. And the cool thing about it too, as well, is that speaking of kind of like a whole different universe, is that with the original trilogy, you have the characters that you know and love. You have
Yeah.
Boba Fett. You have Han Solo. My
Yeah.
personal favorite is IG-88. I mean, you can see by the amount of IG-88 illustrations I do. But
Right.
it's like, dude, in Rogue One, there's a character in there. His name is Ariew. I don't know if you're familiar with who he is. They call him his short name is Two Tubes, but he's the guy that works for Forrest Whitaker's character, Guerrera. What's his name? Anyway, Saw Gerrera. He has like the weird glowing pin eyes with like the antennas coming out. He has the
Okay.
tubes coming. Anyway,
Mhm.
Rogue One gave that to me, where it was like you have these killer investments in these new characters, and that's
Mhm.
what sells it. Like you have investment in it. Like you have emotion. It's fantastic. Okay, I'll shut up
Yeah.
now.
No, you're fine.
Well, what about TV?
What do you think?
show-
What do you
oh,
think of episode 1, 2, 3?
Oh,
I mean, they're okay.
meh.
This gets me in trouble. I don't.
I
Care.
mean,
they're better than what's currently has happened. I think.
Really?
Well, yes, because it was still in the
Even one?
hands. Of
Even
Lucas.
one?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because it was still in the hands of Lucas, and I mean, to me,
I
that
don't
means a
know.
lot. That means a lot to me. And yeah, they're not great. We all admit to that. We know that.
Yeah.
There's no emotional investment in Jar Jar Binks, but
yeah.
it was still at the hands of Lucas, and that's what means a lot to me personally. And I'm not going to sit down and watch them, but if I have to, if they're like, dude, you got to watch the latest or you got to watch the prequel,
Mhm.
it's like, I'll watch the prequel. It's fine.
Really?
Hmm.
See,
Yeah.
I would choose the latest ones over the prequels any day. And
Why?
I saw Phantom Menace at least 24 times in the theater.
Yeah, about 7
And it
tickets in a
took-
row.
Yeah, it took me like the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
And it took
Yeah.
me that many times to realize that I just didn't like the movie. I didn't
Yeah.
think it was that great.
And I
you
agree.
know, like
I totally agree.
I felt like there was just too much like politics involved. You
And
know?
it wasn't grimy, like
Yeah.
Star Wars is like it's like an outlaw film,
Right.
And it's like
Right.
it's a
Mhm.
rebellion, and it's supposed to be. But yeah, you bring in the kind of the sterile, pristine
Yeah.
political aspect of it, and it's like
Yeah.
nice, wardrobe pad me. Like, okay,
I enjoyed, so as far as the new ones go, the Ryan Johnson one, the second one, I can't
Yeah.
remember what they're called because
Don't
I
say
feel
it.
like the names should not have been named the way they're named. I feel like, Force Awakens, sure, that one's okay. The Last Jedi should have been the last one. Return of Skywalker or whatever should have been the second one.
Yeah. Dude,
but
I mean,
I think Rian Johnson did so much for that for the last three. I thought it was great. The things that he added in were awesome. Like okay.
Yeah. We got to sit down with a beer. We got to talk about this,
but I feel like then they're like, oh no, we don't want to continue on with this. Let's just bring back JJ, and then have him do his thing. JJ does his thing. He makes it good. Because let's be honest. JJ's a good director. He makes a good film.
Okay,
but
so
it's
he does. I mean, of course, I would love to have his job, but it's like. Right. There's also a formula to it that we're also used to. That there's nothing original or new to it. Whereas you can have something like Gareth Edwards do Rogue One, and everybody's freaking happy.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. I mean the entire subject. It's fine. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with Star Wars. I grew up on Star Wars, I watched but for me, I just feel like it's, it's just people fighting each other.
It is.
It is toxic, right? Yeah. Star Trek, on the other hand, it's boy. Like, okay, you got me. That's philosophical. You've got the human touch there. You've got, reasons to make you think, not just,
I would rather watch, sorry to interrupt, but I would rather watch J.J. Abrams' Star Trek than J.J. Abrams' Star Wars.
Okay.
Even with lens flares.
Oh man, J.J. Abrams' Star Trek is awful.
Oh my gosh.
It is bad.
Okay, but I'm not a Trekkie. So that could be why. So I'm standing back in the shadows.
Yeah.
I'm standing back in the shadows. But I'll give you rain on that. But man, the whole Star Wars thing, dude. We just finished our basement downstairs. After years, man. It's like 100-year-old house, and I have my Star Wars room. And I have 30+ years of collection. And glass cases and all this garbage. And it's it's my little sanctuary, but it's after all this latest stuff that's happened with the new generation and the new films and things of that nature, I just kind of feel deflated.
Yeah, I get it.
A little bit.
I get it. Yeah, I still haven't seen the Han Solo movie.
It's not bad, but you have to walk into it it's obviously its own separate adventure film.
Right, of course. It's I don't know.
I'm still kind of pissed that they did the Kessel Run thing, but it's come on.
Oh, they did? That's funny.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I mean, I assumed they would,
Yeah. I mean,
you take all the things that make Han Solo popular and then you show the backstory behind it, I would assume.
It's even if I'm sitting at home and I got a downtime before I crash out or something, and on cable is The Last Jedi, I'll skip over it and watch the Brady Bunch or something. I can't stomach it, man.
I thought the production value on it was fantastic.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's ILM, dude. It's the greatest effects house on the planet, the universe, and it's the quality is going to be great, but it doesn't mean the dialogue is or the acting is or
I don't know. I liked Kylo Ren. I thought he was a real good bad guy.
No, he kind of was, but he was a sniveling little brat,
He was, absolutely.
But
totally.
Even dude,
but that's part of being a okay, so this welcome to Star Wars.
I was gonna say, so Ariew has been standing by because I told Ariew we would be 10 minutes, 25 minutes ago, because we were in this segment, which is usually only 10 minutes.
We're still in movie. We're favorite movie, which is the first one.
I need my
All right,
blood pressure
yeah.
medication.
Let's go through the other questions because like he's literally
let's go.
standing by.
Oh man.
Okay,
Cracking my
All right,
nuts.
we're
Let's
gonna
go.
we're gonna pause.
you guys need your own
and then-
podcast. Good
no,
lord.
we're gonna pause this, and then we're gonna go to the drop. After we go to the drop, after we come back from the drop, we're gonna continue this conversation.
All right,
I
all right,
feel my blood's coming back.
Right.
all right. Well, let's quickly. Emphasis on quickly. Let's go through the other questions on the list real quick.
Yeah, you're gonna hit music, and then you
I
and I are
know.
gonna talk for another 20 minutes.
All right. So, well, we talked about some music, I think, a little bit already. So let's just quickly. What are your favorite? What's your favorite music to listen to, both while you work and just in general?
Oh man, punk. It's
Yeah.
like I mean seriously, like it's like I'm super into like obscure stuff. So it's like if I know that there's like a crazy Japanese hardcore demo on YouTube from a band that just came out, I'm going to throw that up and play it on repeat, because it's like, it also goes to my radio show. Like, do I want to play this on my radio show, or do I want to invest in this band when they actually release vinyl or CD? So I'm always that's kind of my thing, It's like finding obscure punk, hardcore, really good stuff. And I mean, it's not just that. Like on occasion, I'll throw on some Tom Petty or Fleetwood Mac or something. Shh, don't tell my friends. But I mean, that's
poser.
Yeah, it's like it's adrenaline for me, man. It's and I love the history, and I love the underground, and I love the political nature of it. Like that's my thing. I'm political in the punk realm, so yeah, that's what I listen to.
Propaganda.
Oh, dude, I went to that show when they played Denver at the VFW, and the whole place it was like a riot. It was crazy.
It's cool.
Anyway, yeah.
All right. What about TV show? Non-Star Wars related.
Oh, click. No. Let's see. Probably. I mean, I don't have a lot of time to like really get invested in stuff. Like my lady and I will sit down for a couple hours and start something. But I think we just finished. So we'll let Netflix and stuff like that. I think we just finished Mayor of Easttown.
I've
with
heard
Kate
of it.
Winslet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
really,
yeah,
really
yeah.
good.
Amazing. That's HBO
I've seen
Max.
parts of it.
HBO Max. Yeah.
I hear it's amazing.
Yeah.
That is next on our list to watch.
Yeah.
Watch it, dude. It was like she needs an award for that. Her acting was incredible.
Oh, she's such a good actress.
She is, man, and she's just kind of raw and primal in her role.
Mhm.
Super rad.
Yeah.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Let's see. One of my greatest shows of all time was Greatest American Hero. Still love that show. So yeah, I don't know. When I have time, it's just kind of streaming shows. I think The Killing I thought was really good. Kind of a crime drama. So yeah.
What about podcasts? Do you listen to podcasts?
It's not like I have like a list of stuff I go through. I'm really into what Alan McKay does. Because he does a lot of stuff in VFX. And so he has a lot of really killer guests. So I listen to a lot of Alan McKay stuff. I actually took his VFX course, and that was all Max and Fume Effects based. But so I listen to a lot of stuff he does. On the music side, I listen to like there's this one called it's New York Hardcore Chronicles. This guy named Drew Stone, I believe. He's an old kind of hardcore music veteran. He kind of brings on guests that's kind of been around the scene for a long time. So I listen to that too as well. So.
And Kevin in the chat, he's saying that Mayor of Easttown is pretty good, but Breaking Bad is the best show he's ever seen, except maybe The Wire.
That was good.
Yeah, he says he'll never talk about
funny.
He'll never stop talking about Breaking Bad.
Dude, Breaking Bad was killer. Like I totally agree, and yeah, that definitely goes on my list. But you know what? I was even talking with my lady the other night. We've never seen The Wire, and we have to see The Wire. Everyone's telling us to see The Wire. Why have we not seen The Wire? So we're gonna watch that here soon.
Yeah,
from what I hear, it's awesome, but you have to get through like the first 4 episodes.
Yeah. I watched episode 1 like 3
before
times.
it like really starts getting
kicks off.
Good. Okay. Like you've got to develop that base first.
Character development, stuff like that. Sure, makes sense.
All right, now what about favorite plugin?
Plugin?
Not render engine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. X particles. I mean, that's kind of a third. I mean,
that's good. That's
that's my answer.
I mean, it is. I guess it is. I guess X particles is just because when I was doing Alan McKay's VFX courses and I was kind of building effects and fume effects and thinking particles, excuse me, and Max and things of that nature. I mean, thinking particles is wicked, wicked, wicked deep. And you need to really have kind of one of those like brain of an engineer kind of technical.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of struggled with that at times. So when X particles really kind of stepped up to the plate, man, I crossed over and it's like, I could do a lot in X particles that thinking particles could do. So X particles for sure. I think on a daily, I'm going to use X particles all the time, but I think like little stuff like, what's the plugin? Like After Effects to C4D or
Yeah.
C4D to After Effects.
Yeah.
Like that, like you hit one button and it takes all your 3D data and shoots it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's awesome. So off the top of my head, I think that's probably it.
And what's
XP
your
is my favorite as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
Just working in we got hired for a job. Sorry, Dave, I know you're in a rush. We got hired for a job last year specifically because they wanted some people who knew X particle stuff, and I knew it a little bit,
Yeah.
but I got really deep into it, and it became my go-to. I find a reason to use it for everything.
Likewise, man.
Yeah.
Likewise. Like that stinger I did that I showed
Mhm.
at the design show, like that was
Mhm.
like majority of X particles. I love it.
Yeah, it's cool.
what
Right, go
about
ahead.
your favorite app? What's your muscle memory app on your phone?
Twitter?
Twitter?
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm constantly on my phone, which sucks. I mean, in this day and age,
Yeah.
everybody does it, but it's like, it's like the age of information. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I'm on Twitter a lot just for reading people's lives and
Right.
what's
Right.
happening in the world. I'm really kind of in tune what's happening in the world. It's kind of important to me. And it sucks, but I also do Facebook a lot, but that's because I do a ton of music stuff, like a lot
Yeah.
of networking.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say my top at least right now, is probably Twitter. It's cliche, but I'm not really
Yeah.
like I'm the latest hip app kind of guy. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I was going into Instagram all the time, but now it's
Yeah.
just TikTok. Anytime I have a minute to burn, I'm on TikTok.
Yeah,
see, I've
same.
been kind of reluctant to get on TikTok because it kind of seems like a time sucker, or
Will
am I wrong?
suck you in
It-
so bad.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
it will
I'll
suck
stay
you
away for
in,
now.
but it sucks you into like some good things.
Well,
you
dude,
know?
the
I mean,
stuff I see that
is-
people post to just crack up,
It will
Yeah, it's
suck you
great.
in because it's entertaining. That's what I'll say.
But it's
you know?
also educational as well,
Mhm.
and it also kind of gets you off of the other platforms like Facebook
Yeah.
and things where it was just arguing about politics. Like it feels
Yeah.
like I feel like I don't care about the other. I don't even get on
Yeah.
Reddit anymore.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of like what the internet is supposed to be, right? Because I mean, prior to what is happening now in the world on the internet, it's like life was so much easier prior to the web. So it's like if you can like find something on the web now that's like worth escaping and checking out, then I might check it out, but like time is short these days,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you don't have time for video games then, or do you?
dude, no, so I love video games. I wouldn't really consider myself a gamer, but I'm really good at first person shooters.
Okay.
And like Battlefield is my thing. I'm playing Call of
Join
Duty.
us
Get
for
on
Halo 5.
Come
We've been
on.
playing
Halo
Halo
5.
Okay, so when I worked at Hybrid and Fluke, I used to play Halo all the time.
Mhm.
Oh, see, do you have
Dude,
an
I
Xbox?
would totally try it again. I would try
Yeah.
it again.
Yeah.
Y-
Halo 5.
do you have an
good.
Xbox? Get.
No, I PC.
Oh.
Okay.
Then you got to wait for Halo
Wait for the
Infinite.
next one. It'll be
Yeah.
cross-platform on
Yeah,
like,
totally.
playing together, which
Okay.
kind of sucks because people with-
Remember that though. Like
mice.
if that happens, ping me and be like, dude, get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll get it.
yeah, for
Dude,
sure.
I hooked up my my NES Classic, because I've been following this TikToker called like 1980s gamer or something, and he just talks about like all the old classic games and stuff. And I wanted to play Mario 3 so bad, And man, I love that you can actually like save the game as you're going
Yeah.
along. But man, it's like normally when you play Mario 3, you get the 2 warp whistles, you warp to number 8, and then you die at some point in number
Yeah.
8, right?
Right.
But I was like, no, I want to play this all the way through. There's not very often that I actually play it all the way
Oh,
through.
every
So I've been
level, yeah.
playing it all the way through for a couple hours every night. It's so fun, man.
Yeah, I
But-
have the mini.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
yeah. You just kind of
Yeah.
plug in. It's got all the games on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
awesome. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so great. It's so
Totally.
much fun.
I know.
All right.
Mario 3 was such a good game.
I
It was
know,
such a
man.
good game.
See, now I'm good. I know what I'm gonna do
I
this
know.
weekend.
I've played I've played the first world of that so many hundreds of times. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
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 All right.
It's funny. I realized the other day that I haven't like Mario 1. I don't think I've played like I've played level 1, level 1, 2, level, what is it, 4, 1.
Right,
and then
because you
level
just keep
8,
warping.
and then
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
because I always warp. I've never gone all the way through
Yeah.
the whole game.
I used to skip school to play that.
Yeah.
When my mom's at work, I used to go play for like I'd kind of go to school and then come home and play Mario 1.
Yeah.
All right, here's the hardest question of them all, which is, what is your favorite life hack? And this can be something productive, or it could be something like Mitch Meyer says, which is you turn the toaster on its side for some bomb-ass grilled cheese.
Life hack.
Do you have a thing that you do?
If you're gonna go out and you're gonna drink, take a B12 before you go to bed.
Before you go to bed. Can I add to that?
Yes.
Also take 2 Tylenol and down 1 bottle of water.
Yes, but be careful of your liver,
Yes, of course.
because you don't want to crap out your liver.
Of course.
So
Not too much Tylenol with that.
just
But,
be safe.
I
Your
think
kidneys. Actually, Tylenol would be kidneys. So.
the easiest thing to do is just to drink vodka waters, because then you're getting 50% water every time.
See, now
So
you're
you're
just making me
hydrating.
thirsty.
For some vodka water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or whatever right now.
Yeah.
We're in a heat wave right now, man, and it's brutal. It is brutal
Yeah.
hot. So
It's about to
It's
get
It's
that way
69
here.
degrees in my office right now, so I've got a nice little hoodie
Yeah.
on.
yeah, I've got a mini
Feeling
split
good.
system here, but you go outside and your skin bursts into flames.
Yeah. Funny.
All right, I think we've reached the point of the show where we're going to get Ariew on. We're going to switch over to the drop. This is different than we usually do. And we've never
Give me
tried
one
adding somebody
sec.
mid-show, so we'll see how this works here. Hopefully I just Googled the right address. There we go.
Oh,
There it
he's
is.
here.
All right, there he is. Can you hear us okay?
What's up? I can hear you
All
guys.
right, cool. Are you rolling already? You get to go?
Yeah, I'm rolling now.
Awesome.
What's up,
You're
homies?
the man. I'm going to get you plugged in here, and we'll get going.
Oh, nobody can see me yet.
No,
No.
nobody can see
We
you
could
yet.
just hear your voice.
Yeah.
Good.
We won't be able to see
Octane
you.
Jesus is speaking to us.
Oh.
All right, cool. All right, if you're ready, let's go into the drop. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
I love
What's
that.
up? And
Oh,
welcome
I moved it to the wrong
drop.
thing. I put it in the wrong thing. Oh, I'm so stupid. All right, take two.
What
Take
now?
two. Take two.
Takes it. Takes it.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
There we go.
What's up? And welcome to this week's episode of The Drop, your weekly source for all things NFT and crypto art, as well as upcoming drops by notable people in the Mograph industry. I'm Matt Milstead. Joining us, as always, Dave Koss. And joining us on this week's show, Andy Lefton and Octane Jesus himself, Mr. David Ariew.
What's up, everybody? Great
David
to see
is
you.
joining us today because he has a drop on Nifty Gateway this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you want to just go
Alright.
straight into like the drops in general, and we'll just kind of work through it that way? How do you want to do this?
Sure, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
All right.
it's a good list of people that they've got on Nifty Gateway this week. I really like a lot of the artists. I think there may be only like 1 or 2 non-Mograph people, which is pretty cool. You know, first up today we've got Brian
Josh
Brinkman.
Pierce.
Yeah,
Too.
Josh Pierce
Yeah.
is today. Yeah. Brian Brinkman. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, this one was so cool. Yeah. So I thought this was neat. So basically, they've created like these animations and stuff that look like moving neon. So if you go all the way down, yeah, you can see, hover over one of them or click on one of them, Dave. You can
Yeah, I
see
love
that they
this. I
look
think it's
like
so creative.
Oh, that's
like, it's
cool.
So
one of the
creative,
drops that I've
right?
seen, yeah.
it's like mixing real life and 3D animation. So cool. I love it. Super, super cool. And
cool.
then let's see. Next up, we got 6 and 5. 6 and 5.
Yep, they're a
like
big
these.
like ArcViz studio.
Oh,
Or, I don't know if they're a
super
studio or
beautiful.
just like a couple people, but yeah, they've done
It's
a bunch of drops. It's really clean and
gorgeous.
nice.
these
Really,
are
really
really
like it.
clean.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Right.
The meeting. Where
Super
where
cool
do you
stuff.
put your feet in this one? Where do you put you just sit there and put your feet on the table? Where do your feet go?
Like Japanese style, you know, you just
Yeah,
you
you
just-
just you know
Oh, you do
crisscross
applesauce? I almost said the
Maybe in
wrong
future
thing.
Yeah, you
people don't
crisscross
have
applesauce
legs.
it.
Do you
Yeah.
ever consider
Yeah.
that?
What's that?
I said maybe in the future people don't have legs.
Oh,
so
that's
you
Yeah.
true. They don't have to walk anywhere.
Or because it's in space, you're actually just floating. You know.
That's true. That's true.
Am I on the
Like,
right
just-
mic here? Am I
Oh, yeah,
sounding
you
clean or
yeah,
is
you sound
that
fine.
shitty?
No, you sound
Okay,
fine.
good.
Tap your
Yeah.
mic. Tap your mic. Let's see.
Tap tap.
Yep.
Tap.
That worked. I heard it. You're good.
Okay.
Okay,
keep
all right.
going.
Dave heard
You're
it.
good. Yeah.
Next up, we've got Josh Pierce. Josh Pierce has done a ton of really good. It is just super talented artist.
Yeah,
you
Josh
know,
is amazing.
Love Josh Pierce's stuff.
Man, so
he's
vibrant.
done a few. He's done a few drops on Nifty before. You know, and I think I've got one of his pieces. Yeah, you've got some of his. I know that. So that's today in about 3 hours. Next up tomorrow, we've got this super talented, amazing dude named David Ariew is doing a drop.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You know what?
This
Let
is-
me link you guys to. There's a secret link to the collection.
Please
so you
do.
Ooh.
can already see the collection here.
Secret
link. Secret link. And it's less compressed than Instagram even. So
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm into that. Because Twitter just wrecks these.
I
I'm doing
know.
like these mirror
Yeah.
boxes, and there's
Oh,
so
I
much
know.
detail that Twitter's like, it's just complete compression.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. We got
Oh yeah.
here we go.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Wait. Okay. So maybe I can.
One-
Oh, you even got.
Yeah,
you
so
can see the prices and things.
so this is your
Nice.
mirror box, right?
Yeah.
This is your mirror
Boxes, yes.
boxes.
Yep.
The
Collection's
Is
called
it-
Infinite
it's-
Reflections.
5
Okay.
of them, right?
Yep, there's 5 of
Yeah.
them.
So.
You ready to get rich, Ariev?
I think the days of getting rich on Nifty Gateway are gone. I've
You'll
missed that
definitely get
window,
something,
but you know,
yeah.
I hope that I sell the collection out.
Yeah, it's funny, this spectral momentum we were talking the other day. You use what tracks did you use? Where did you get them from? The
I got
audio?
them all from Premium Beat. Just did
Premium
the
Beat.
pro license, which is like a couple $100 per. And yeah, I just found tracks that I connected with. Like
Yeah.
for the golden ones, I wanted more like classical music to kind of, I don't know, just make it a bit more classy because the gold feels pretty
Yeah.
classy and more soothing. And then for the vibrant kind of techno ones, I searched for just through electronic music. Some of them are more ambient, and then that last one, Spectral Momentum, is like very much in the style of my concert visuals where it's super tightly synced with the music. Yeah.
And there's a sample in there that you will recognize that is a somatic sample that is also in the intro to the drop. If you
Yep.
listen
Oh,
closely.
really?
Yeah, you'll definitely hear that little sound
like the classic
thing.
blah. It's when we're doing those, like when I'm doing those focal length animations, like punching in really quick.
Right,
Yeah.
and
right,
everything's
right.
super tense. Yeah, that's the sound.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
the
cool.
little womp womp womp, like the beginning of
Yeah.
the
It's
drop.
the classic dubstep sound, really.
Yeah. Wop 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 wop.
Yeah.
Andy, you like dubstep?
No.
Do you like?
Do you like
Andy,
dubstep?
do you
Well,
like
okay.
dubstep?
I mean, okay. No. I'm not gonna start talking because it turns into this like half-hour conversation. So, I'll say maybe I've had some guilty pleasures, but
All right. All right. Yeah.
There's yeah. Yeah,
That's good.
I don't love dubstep, but it's so fun to animate too.
It is fun
Right.
to animate.
Yeah,
I
it
can
just
see
it has
that.
such clear hits.
it's got a
you know?
groove. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like design. It's made for motion designers, really.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else you want to tell us about your
Yeah.
drop tomorrow,
Yeah.
Mr. Ariev?
Mhm.
What time is it? What time is
It's
it
at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Eastern.
I'm doing
okay.
a little AMA today on the Nifty Gateway Discord at
Cool.
3 my time, so 5 o'clock Eastern time.
5 Eastern.
Cool.
Okay.
That's about it. I don't know.
Cool.
I was gonna have a Maker's Place drop this week as well, but we pushed it so that it wasn't
Oh.
so close in proximity to the Nifty drop.
Oh, okay.
Cause,
All right.
Yeah. And that one's gonna be down on the render farm, and then little animations in that same world. So
Cool.
that'll probably be in a week or two. And then beyond that, I don't know. we'll see.
Yeah.
You know, I just finished up that big 888 video.
Right?
Yeah,
hired a bunch of
beautiful.
people.
Have we mentioned
Yeah.
that?
No, we haven't even
mentioned
got a chance to talk about that yet because that happened
Yeah.
this
Pull
week,
it up
right?
if you want.
Is that
Yeah.
is that on the list?
On
You
the
should
list.
pull it up.
Yeah. I'll
on
pull it
our
up
list
right
of
now.
stuff.
Yeah,
You should.
Yeah, just
'Cause
go to
this-
888tnw.com and you'll
Yeah.
get to the Vimeo link.
that's where I'm going. Yeah.
Tell
So
us.
this is a new
yeah,
platform that 888 is developing, and he, you
There
know,
we go.
has gotten. So it's artist owned and operated, and he's gotten all of these super top crypto artists to invest in the platform, and they'll be running it as well. So it's really cool. He hired me to do the whole video. We had 4 weeks, and we knocked out 4 minutes of animation in 4 weeks, which is definitely a record for me.
Wow.
God.
Especially at this like level of quality.
Right.
Aaron Westwood did these initial environments. I did
Mhm.
like the character animation and camera moves. But yeah, I super wanted to hire him because he's in my opinion the best environment artist in the world. You know, at least for like this more realistic style. Like Josh Pierce is amazing for kind of the more stylistic
Right.
and colorful renders. But yeah, Aaron is just, his stuff looks like reality. Though we did like shift it a little bit more surreal for this, obviously, because this video is like
Right.
magical. It's not intended to look, you know, realistic. Chelsea did the character design in Daz. Jan helped with the rigging on the wings. And then one of my students, Rob Hales, he's like my star student. He's like the only person that finished LCR and like began on a short film. So like it's like a great litmus test for who I want to work with, weirdly. So if he was like my mini-me on this project, and he knocked out, like this shot you're seeing right now is one of his shots that I tweaked and kind of enhanced a bit, but he like, you know, got the bones of it going. So without him, this project would not have happened in the time that it did.
That's super cool.
Yep. And then, you know, just space.
Lots
But,
of
like,
space.
the colorful space. You know, it's
Right.
like more like the Guardians of the Galaxy style, or like
Yeah,
the Katy Perry stuff.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And what's the
But
track
then,
on
you know,
this
the
since I'm not
character
playing?
Animation added a lot of like complexity to it and a lot of extra time. And then another one of my students, Marcus Matosian, actually did that spinning animation, like the bones of that.
Cool.
And then Jan Sledecko did a lot of stuff towards the ending, like the you know, kind of the HUD shots. Though Lorcan O'Shanahan I hired to do the actual HUD design because he's a genius at that stuff. And when I got his project files, it was like just completely overwhelming, like just because of the number. He's got like a collection of expressions. He's like so deep into that. I'm like, holy shit, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff I just had to have him like tweak, though I managed to tweak a lot of it too. But yeah.
Yeah, and
We got-
the track on this too, since I don't have the
the
audio
track
going.
is Blau.
Yeah.
So it's based off of Blau's most popular track, Tokyo, which is what I was editing to. And then towards the end of the project, like we couldn't use that actual track because he only owns like 20% of it.
Right.
So he, you know, got his studio guy to basically rework the track and change the key so that we could use it. So it's basically been reworked. And then my buddy Abel Okugawa did the sound design, and his wife Rahima added new vocals to the track.
I cannot believe, like right now, the animation is still going. Like
It's still
I
going.
cannot
See,
believe
there's
how
all the HUD
long
stuff.
this animation is. And
Yeah,
how
it was
long did
pretty
it
crazy.
take?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long?
That's a minute
how
a
long is
week.
the oh, well, I
That
don't have
is
the thing on here.
insane.
Yeah. What's the total runtime on this again?
Just like 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Maybe I
Man.
can't remember exactly. But yeah.
Like
That's a lot of
just
work.
absolutely insane.
Thanks, guys. It was fun though. Like I definitely love, as you know, these overly ambitious, stupidly ambitious
Crazy
projects.
deadlines. Yeah.
Crazy
Right.
deadlines. You know.
Yeah.
Love that stuff.
How did you
I
handle the
didn't-
rendering on this?
I upgraded my whole render farm. I dropped 15 grand on 6 3090s or 5 3090s. You guys thankfully got me the sixth one. So
Nice. Yeah.
so I've got now 2 machines with 2 3090s each, and then my third machine has 4 2080 Ti's, and the one we're building right now for Chelsea is going to have another 2 3090s. So I think the total Octane bench is going to be like 5,600 or something like that.
Nice,
But yeah, it was
nice.
more than enough to like just render full quality all the time. I didn't do any low sample renders, and there were a lot of changes because 888 wanted to constantly change the people, the artists on the planets, and shift things around. So, you know, at first, like when he first contacted me, he was like, okay, let's do something cool. You've got 4 days. I'm like,
4 days. Good Lord.
Yeah, and then it extended to 2 weeks, and then it extended past then, and I was done like within 4 weeks. But then there were like an additional 4 or 5 days where they were like still tweaking the website, and then Blau was tweaking the music. So it was one of those where it was like rush, and then wait at the end.
Yeah.
So, but I still got enough sleep. I slept like 7-8 hours a night, though there were a
That's
lot
Not
of
bad.
late nights. And Chelsea doesn't do
That's not
super
as much
well.
as you normally get, but
Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm totally like, down
You're-
to get like 10
you're a
hours.
12-hour sleeper.
12 hours of sleep, and I'm like Winnie the Pooh up in here. Just super. Yeah,
That's funny.
but yeah, good
That's
times.
cool, man.
Cool.
Great work. It's
Yeah.
Thanks.
killer.
Yeah.
That's
I think in July I'm going to be doing some Zed visuals, and then potentially we'll mint a few of the pieces, as well, because
Nice.
that's like my new favorite thing. It's like, all right, I'll take on client work if we can double dip and then release
Right.
these in NFT as well.
Yeah.
it's a good
Why
idea.
not? Yeah.
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 That's
But
cool.
yeah, that's what I got going on.
Cool. Well, Matt, you want to go over the other ones here?
Yeah, congratulations on your Nifty drop tomorrow. I hope you do really well.
Yeah.
I hope you sell out in less than a minute.
I hope
Like
so
you did
too.
with Camp.
Yeah, you
See,
can
I would
buy
be
me a
happy
couple
to
beers
just
when I'm
sell
up
out
there.
at all. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I sell out, beers are on me for sure. at
Sweet.
camp.
Yay!
Beers at
All
the
right,
sand
you pay
dunes.
for beers for the whole camp.
Whole camp, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute now. Hold on.
Wait a
Wait a
I
minute.
did not agree to that.
Wait a
Actually,
minute.
last year we kind of did that. Like EJ and I went and bought like
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
$300 or
Yeah.
$400 worth of beer. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
had our
nice.
little beer tastings. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Man, I can't wait for this camp. It's gonna be so much fun.
I cannot wait. Everyone's so like socially deprived right now.
I
so,
I
know.
know.
I know.
This is the first big one.
I was out in public yesterday, and I found myself I was
Awkward.
what's the word? No, I was really mean to the person that I was talking to.
Really?
Oh,
Yes.
were you being a Karen, Matt? Don't be.
No, I wasn't. I mean, he was a friend of mine, but I was being really mean to him. So, and I was like, oh no, I'm not on the internet anymore. I need to chill out.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So, anyway, all right, back to
Yeah.
this week's drop.
We're at Dot Pigeon.
The
That's where-
9th, we've got Dot Pigeon. Dot
That
Pigeon
was the
doing a
second time
drop.
they dropped. Yep.
Yeah.
What's up with the? I think it's a cool looking deal. It's like an astronaut smoking or something.
Oh
Very
yeah, this
interesting
animation
stuff.
was
Oh, interesting.
beautiful.
I haven't
Like,
seen
super pretty space
this.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like watch this once the this hit right. Oh, so
Wow.
like
Man, that's
this is
good.
that looked
Pigeon?
real.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No way.
That looked totally real. I don't know if it was or not.
I like
It might
this
have-
part.
Sure, it isn't, but yeah.
Yeah,
Smoking.
just.
That's funny.
I didn't
Okay,
see the
that's
end.
really
That's
good.
funny.
That seems like something Martin would do,
right.
right?
Right.
That was a great trailer.
Yeah. Right.
Now I feel bad that I didn't make a trailer, but also how would I? Like my stuff's
Right.
just like abstract mirror boxes. It's like here's a mirror box to intro into the mirror boxes. Like I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, I feel like these need to have like if it's something like this, having a trailer is so great, and then like you don't do the actual NFT, you do something related as a promo piece. It's such a great way
No.
to push
Me,
it.
I like seeing the work.
well, not that you can't see the
I
work.
like seeing the work that I'm going to be, bidding on or whatever,
Yeah.
or buying,
Mhm.
for that's me personally. I don't like this. Hey, here's a teaser video.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
you see in the teaser video is not what you're going to be buying at all. Oh, and by the way, you only have 5 minutes to do it.
right.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Nifty
It's like,
though, they don't let you like show all of the stuff beforehand. Like so I like showed 3 of my pieces, but I'm keeping 2 secret. They like to keep that mystery, which makes some sense, but like on the day you can at least show like the last, couple pieces, I think. And everybody's going to see it anyway because the collection goes live, on the
Right.
day. So it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Like I think it's nice to be able to just show each piece ahead of time, and like I don't know that it like creates that much more hype to hide what the artwork actually is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just me though.
Yeah, At
Also,
least
maybe
if you
that's
have
just a
an idea.
justification, because I'm lazy and I don't want to make like an extra trailer on top of the artwork. Like,
Right.
You
Right,
just
right,
want to
right.
know kind of what you're getting into. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But if you know the artist, then you kind of know. Like if it's an Ariew drop, I'm gonna know kind of what's coming up.
maybe. I
You
mean, I
know.
have so many different styles. You don't necessarily know which one I'm going to pick. Like,
Yeah.
could be abstract, could be something like down on the render farms, all bright and happy and colorful, and then like other
Well,
stuff is like
But I mean,
cyberpunk.
I don't know. I still feel like I know what I know that I'm guaranteed like a good NFT. I guess that's
Yeah.
the
Thanks, man.
thing. If it's a person that I've
Hope
never
so.
heard of, and it's
Right.
like people are hyping that person up, sometimes it's kind of hard. It's like, oh, we're gonna get in on this drop. It's this artist, blah blah blah. They do these things, and it's like, oh, cool. I'm gonna check them out. Maybe I would like to buy one because they seem like they're up and coming star, and or already a star or something. And then you get there and you're like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm gonna buy because I can't see it, and I
Right.
don't know them well
Yeah.
enough. That's kind of the thing, I guess. If you don't know them well enough, but I don't know. Anyway, you got
Next up on the 10th,
Yep.
Stephen Balte,
Mhm.
I think is how you say the name. Oh yeah, this one was super cool.
Oh yeah,
So I don't know the artist.
yeah. This is the
specifically,
second
but I
time they've
thought it was
dropped on Nifty
Mhm.
as well. Yeah.
super cool stuff. I thought it was very pretty. I like
Yeah.
the colors, and the smoke looks great.
It's interesting
Totes.
that some of these
Yeah.
people are dropping twice, and then you got some people that are like dying to.
I know. Once you're in the Nifty family, they tend to like reuse the same artist a lot. And,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Next
Who else?
is
Next up is Pie Slices.
and is this
I don't know this
has Pie Slices been on before? Because there was
I
some
don't
mention
think so. Not to
Infinite
my
Places
knowledge.
2. So I was like,
I
well,
think,
Maybe.
where was part 1? When was part
I
1?
think this is the first time. This is the first time that I've seen them
Yeah. Same here.
drop on Nifty.
Though I've been like not paying as close attention to Nifty the past few weeks, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've paid attention to them for the past 17 weeks. So
Yeah.
Pie Slices has not dropped within the past 17 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know. Next up we got Ted Chin.
Yeah, this is the second time Ted's dropped. He's
Yeah.
awesome. He's
Yeah.
super nice, and like his work is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
a lot of painted
So-
looking stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's very
Um,
painterly. Looks nice.
Super nice.
Is this? I wonder if this is
Awesome.
done
It's
on
Photoshop.
an iPad
Yeah,
or okay,
yeah.
Photoshop. Okay.
Though a lot of these do look like they're just paintings, which is interesting.
Mhm.
Like his
Yeah.
other work was very clearly like photoshopped with like these big like wolves and creatures in the mountains, kind of like that one deer that we saw in the mist, or like a giant whale in the sky kind of thing, which is all Photoshop. But some of those looked more painterly still, which is really cool.
Yeah. And Matt, Greg Mike has something coming up too, but we don't have a link.
Yeah, I don't have a link to it because he didn't post anything. He was his Twitter was promoting like some new piece that he did down in Florida, but I mean we all know who Greg Mike is. And
Yeah,
Greg
his
Mike
stuff
is like
looks
super
really
talented.
cool. Yeah.
I love Greg.
See,
Mike's
that's an
stuff,
example
so-
of like where I kind of know, like Greg Mike. I'm like,
The style.
okay, the style.
Yeah,
like I
mean,
know what I'm
he's
getting
done,
into.
Like 3 drops on Nifty.
Yeah.
You know. And
Yeah, I own one of his pieces. He was in the ABV gallery, which was that one that they kind of did a little bit behind the scenes. Alex Ness was in it,
Mhm.
and Fuck Render and several other artists. But it was this whole like gallery, and they were all drawings, and you had to get like an invite link to enter the
Yeah.
drawings, kind of behind the scenes. But yeah, his work is really cool, and
Yeah, really
Yeah.
cool.
And also,
So,
speaking of galleries, there is going to be a pop-up gallery in real life
Yeah.
on Sunday in
Oh, yeah.
Dallas. So
Dallas.
I'm
Yeah.
That's
thinking
awesome.
about maybe going to that. I know a lot of already been Chew guys are going to be there. So
you
like,
should go.
My kid's
Yeah.
birthday that day, so I probably won't make it. Yeah.
I might see if I could figure out how to drop by that. It'd be fun.
Yeah,
So
that'd be cool.
haven't seen a lot of those dudes in a while. So who's
Greg
next?
Mike was on the 11th. I don't think I mentioned that.
Oh, on the
So,
11th. Okay.
Yeah, on the 12th we've got Mankind.
Yeah,
That's
Mankind.
that's Rhett. Yep, Rhett Dash.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about hitting him up to see if he wants to be on the show because man,
You
that
should
conversation.
definitely have him on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like such a well-spoken dude and so nice, and
Mhm.
yeah, he's like
Yeah.
As far as NFTs and crypto goes, he's like definitely like the expert. Whenever
Yes.
we were doing our clubhouse chats, he would be like the voice of reason, or like the person we would turn to whenever we didn't know what the hell, because we're super noobs at like crypto still. So it's like, okay, let's bring
Very
out
well versed.
Rhett to like
Yeah.
say something smart.
Yeah. Hey, say something smart.
Hey,
Come on.
say something smart.
Yeah.
Okay, give us legitimacy.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask. That might need to be its own special or something. We'll see if we can work that out.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Moving over
next?
to Maker's Place.
Mhm.
On the 10th, we've got Lumi with Digital Mythology. It's funny. I've noticed like a big difference. So this one is another one of my pet peeves where it's like, oh, here's a teaser, but I'm never gonna actually show you what it looks like.
Oh,
Like,
almost
come
gets
on.
it doesn't.
that's
Oh,
rude.
You know.
gosh, that's
yeah, so
mildly
Maker's Place had me make
infuriating.
a teaser
What?
as well. Maker's Place had me make a teaser as well for my, down on the render farm drop. But for that, I literally just use clips from the thing because it's like, I'm just going to show you what the artwork looks like, guys.
Oh.
Like, I don't like this.
This
Yeah,
is
I
like
know.
this is like the video that goes around every once in a while, the GIF of the truck from all those different angles
That
that's
it's, like,
about to hit
about
something.
try and hit the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
so
come on, just hit it.
unsatisfying. It's like
Yeah.
it almost gets in focus and then doesn't.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Right.
mildly
So, anyway.
infuriating. Good God.
Mhm.
I have noticed that the prices, so like I don't know, we talk about these different drops, but I mean all the ones that I've seen on Maker's Place have been way outside of my price range,
Mhm.
versus Nifty and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's
And
a good amount
it's-
on Maker's Place that are like for 1,000 per edition, which is
Yeah,
still
yeah.
high,
But
but it's
some
not.
of these drops and stuff like that, it's like they
Mhm.
go for 9, 10, 15 grand.
Right.
You know.
If it's a one of one, yes, but I haven't
Yeah.
seen a lot of editions going that high unless it's something
Yeah.
like Hackatow. Like Hackatow did one that was like 10 grand per edition or something, and
Yeah.
it sold like 50 editions or something like that. It's
Jeez.
like, good God.
Insane.
But that
Yeah.
was also several months ago. Like nobody can sell
Yeah.
like that anymore right
Yeah.
now until like the next bull run of NFTs, whenever that happens, if it happens.
Yeah.
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 Next up
There,
on the
one
11th,
more. Yeah.
Alex Party. Alex in Shunderland is what this one's called.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex in Wonderland.
Shunderland.
More like Alex in
Yeah.
Shunderland. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah.
So
that's-
someone
That's
like
yeah.
very Greg Mike looking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a
Or
little
Mike
bit
Gregg.
more drippy.
Not
Kind of
Greg
reminds
Mike,
me of
Mike
Gaten
Gregg.
DeSimone's artwork.
Greg Mike.
Yeah. I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see that. That's funny. Someone
Wow.
said, what was it? Oh, they called it a bright mare instead of a
bright
nightmare.
mare.
It was like a
Yeah,
bright
bright
mare.
mare. That's really
you know?
cool.
I thought that was pretty cool. So neat looking stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's it as far as the big drops going on this week. As far as the community drops, we've got a couple. Brandon Parvini
Mhm.
dropped a couple of them on
Dang, dog.
Foundation this week. I just love
Hmm.
it.
Beautimous.
I saw
It's
this.
so
work
good.
is so good.
It's awesome.
That's so unique.
So good.
Very
Yeah.
unique. And he uses like standard render for this stuff too.
Yeah,
Which is,
Yeah.
which
he's
is
the only
awesome.
he's the only person I've ever met that can make standard render look
Right.
good.
I know.
So
Oh,
yeah,
so
that's
good.
the other one.
That's sick.
And he got a bid on one of his previous ones. I think that one went through, which was pretty cool. That was like his first drop was.
Dude,
So
I was gonna
badass and
bid-
drippy. I don't know how he does that.
I know.
I know.
Well, he goes
I
into
know.
it. You should watch his Maxon talk from last
Oh,
month.
cool.
He talks about some.
I've
of
got
this.
so many Maxon talks and like courses to catch up on. I haven't watched a course in like a year and a half because I've
Yeah.
gone from
right.
like doing the School of Motion course for a year,
Mhm.
then right into NFTs for the past like 6 months and
Yep.
never had a break. Like this
Yeah.
weekend was the first weekend that I took the
I
entire
know. I
weekend
said,
off.
hey, let's
Yeah.
play Halo. You're like, all right, cool.
All right, let's
like,
do it.
oh, that doesn't
Yeah.
happen. You must be very slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that
That's
things
funny.
are slow. It's just that I needed a freaking break. Like
Yeah.
there's more stuff I could be doing, but it's just like there's no pressing deadlines. That's the thing is I've had pressing deadlines up until this point. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it feels good, but it's also
exhaustion.
weird. It's like coming down off of just like this like constant like base level of stress or just like what's the next thing I have to do? What's the next thing I have to do? And like now I can finally relax, but my body doesn't know how.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. It's like you're on autopilot.
Yeah.
You try to break it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so weird when you finally have nothing to do and then you're like,
What do I do?
Now what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm bored.
Yeah.
Okay, back to
Yeah.
work, I guess.
Exactly. Like now I need to be like, like we were doing some housework. It's like, okay, I need to be cleaning the kitchen and then doing the laundry, and then we gotta go pull some weeds in the backyard. Like just like finding busy work to do.
See,
'cause-
that's why
Yeah.
actually, so TikTok has been like a real bad thing
Mhm.
for me
'Cause
lately,
that's what you
because
fill
I
that
have
void
found
with.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I fill that void with.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then it's like, so like I'll have like a 2 or 3 hour break, and I'm like, oh man, my kids are finally asleep. I should go clean my kitchen, and then I get on TikTok and like,
Whoops, an hour went by.
the whole time, the
Yeah.
whole time I'm like, oh, I should get up. Oh, but I've sat here for an hour and I'm really relaxed. I don't want to
Yeah.
get up and do anything now.
The dishes
you
are
know?
still in the sink. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
terrible like cycle to be in.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
reached that one that TikTok yesterday where, there'll be somebody who's like, you should put the phone down for a minute. Like
Oh, yeah,
one
yeah.
of those.
Hey, you've been scrolling for way too long.
Yeah.
Like,
Or the
hey,
one
shut up.
that's
You
like
don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I know you're on TikTok right now. You had time to do that, but you didn't put those clothes up that are in the laundry
Yeah.
basket over there.
Yeah.
Back into the doghouse.
You know me
Yep.
too well.
One
Also
more community drop. We had Gustav Feldstrom at Botch.
Is that how you say his
Yeah.
last name?
No.
I'm always wondering.
Is
'Cause
it
it's
not?
like so? I don't know. It's just so like Icelandic
Feldstrom?
sounding. Like
Feldstrom?
I think it's like Fieldstrom. I don't know.
Feldstrom.
I don't know how it's pronounced. I'm just wondering.
Gustav, how do you pronounce your last name?
you were
Gustav's
on the he was on the show and you still don't even remember.
Gustav
Yeah.
Fieldstrom.
Fieldstrom.
I don't know.
Anyway.
but
This
that
is
thing is
super
beautiful,
pretty.
and he
Yeah.
does
It
a
is
breakdown
beautiful.
of it, right?
Gustav makes
Yeah.
some beautiful work. Yes, and so in the show notes, he did an entire breakdown of how that piece was created,
Mhm.
which is cool. So
Yeah, he did all
make sure
his,
and check that out.
his photoshopping and time lapses and all the things.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, he goes way into it
Oh,
and
is that
into the
did he
audio
create
as well.
the music too? Jesus.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
that
big
always,
audio
like,
dude.
blows my mind when like Dave, I'm like, oh yeah, you made the music for that too. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know how you have the time to be good at
I
both.
don't have the time.
I
I just
don't.
screw around enough to be dangerous with it. So, man, this
Right.
is gorgeous. I wonder what is he shooting this on?
I don't know.
Man, his
Big
room's
string
looking
bass,
nice.
that's
Look at
nice.
the lighting
Yeah.
and stuff.
That's less Claypool style.
This is
Yeah.
one gorgeous behind the scenes video for sure. Look at
Schmoop
that.
is here.
Look at that.
Mm,
It's freaking fantastic.
nice.
Yeah. All right.
So check that out in the show notes. Dave, we had a
Also-
email?
Yeah, we did have an email. This is our last one here. It says, hope you're doing well. I mentioned previously, this is from Jack, by the way. I mentioned previously about an NFT drop I'm involved with that's upcoming on Tuesday, June 8th. Please find the attached press release for the DJs you can eat. The artworks are being sold at rarible.com/DJs you can eat and are involved with motherland.art, which launches the same day. Motherland.art is a digital art concept spearheaded by Larry Slattery. Yes, I think I got that right. The concept is represented by a collective of artists interested in creative sovereignty, immorality, inclusivity, and doing good. For every piece of art sold by the collective, 5% goes to charity of the artist's choice. All this includes secondary sales as well. GJYCE isn't mine, so you don't have to mention it by name. Well, I did. If you could mention motherland.art and the drop itself would be amazing. Let me make sure that I bring this up here, and I will link to this in the show notes as well under the community drops. You can check it out there. I'm loading up the Motherland site as well as the Rarible right now, so you can check it out here on the screens and things. You can see this talks about everything about the percentages and all of that. Let's see if it came up here on Rarible's like just sitting here, just thinking. I don't know why. Maybe I have to log into a MetaMask or something. I don't understand.
No, you shouldn't have to.
No, you shouldn't
because
have to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Floyd
Some-
Mayweather is on Rarible. Ugh.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Yeah, it looks like
Did you see
wearable-
Beeple's,
Oh
his
my
Oh,
gosh,
daily?
yeah.
it's so
But it was
funny.
so funny because he predicted, like Matt, we were
Yeah.
on Halo last night, and Matt was like, "Oh, they keep hugging. They're just hugging." And like Beeple's daily was them making out.
Yeah.
But it was way before the fight, so he totally predicted it.
Yeah, so
Stupid publicity stunt.
it made me
It was
log
such
in.
a publicity stunt.
Mm-hmm.
It made me log in before
weird.
it would open at all. Okay,
That's
well,
Didn't
bizarre.
make me log in.
I got it now. So here we are. Got all
Apparently,
the things.
Showtime issued a statement regarding possible refunds after the fight
Why?
because the event, like the
So it was so
stream
lame.
crashed a few times.
okay.
Oh,
you know?
okay. I like this one right here. It's called Skrill Eggs. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it has. See if I can zoom in here. Yeah, it's.
You can click on it probably, and it'll full screen it.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
there you go. Skrill Eggs.
Oh, funny.
nice.
Matt, you almost did your hair like that back in the day.
Yeah, I was trying some things.
Ooh,
But
That
we
was going through a
trying.
phase.
No, then COVID hit and I let my hair just grow out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it turned into butt cut from the 90s. I'm
Butt
like,
cut.
I can't do this. You know? And then I finally cut it and the butt cut stayed, like the part stayed, and I was like, okay, now I can't get this thing right here to not be curly anymore. It's been a constant
It's a
struggle.
struggle, man.
I haven't
Kentaro-
had a good hair day in like 2 years.
Oh,
I haven't
Goose.
had a haircut since the beginning of COVID.
Yeah. You cut it really short at one point,
I did,
and now
for
it's
my
all
wedding.
back to where it is.
Yeah.
Gustav put the pronunciation of
Gustav.
Fellstrom.
Fjellstrom.
Oh, I got it.
Fjellstrom. Fjellstrom.
I totally got it.
Yeah, that's a toughie. And also, Kentaro asks if we have ever considered streaming on Twitch. Yes, we have
We
considered
do
it.
stream on Twitch.
because
He
we
said the
are-
American pronunciation.
we are
is
streaming.
Fjellstrom. But what is
Oh,
what is the
Fjellstrom.
like? Is it Icelandic
Fjellstrom.
or is it like?
Yeah.
Fjellstrom.
We are currently
Anyway, I'll
streaming
shut
to
up about
Twitch
it.
right now as you speak, as you listen, as we speak, as you listen. Yeah. So anyway.
Is that it for the drop?
Oh God, here's
Oh
Dorothy.
boy.
I haven't met Dorothy in person before yet.
Sure
Maybe
you
I
have.
have.
Yeah,
I
you
guess
have.
technically I haven't either.
We met
Wait, did he come up on the Peter Costi episode?
Yeah, he
Did-
did.
Okay,
Mhm.
never mind.
He's on every episode.
Yeah. What up, dog?
Sadly. My gosh.
I've been working on a new NFT this week. It's going to be a series of wolf portraits, like you see on the T-shirts. You know, you can buy the whole thing. It's a series on Rarible. It's called A Pack of Wolves.
Hey.
All right, maybe that wasn't a very good joke, but I've been under the weather a little bit lately. I tried to go to the doctor, but I quickly refused care because he tried to give me a CAT scan.
That one was
What's
so
going
bad.
on here?
Welcome
You
to
had
this alternate
you just had the
universe.
same reaction as every
Bad
guest when
dad
Dorothy
jokes.
shows
Right.
up. What is going on?
I'm just waiting for the cigar and poo jokes.
Yeah. I think maybe my next NFT is going to be a series of mirror boxes that I put on Nifty. Dorpy, that's literally what David Ariew is doing this week. Oh. Well, son of a... Dorpy. But I'm allowed to say it if it's true, right? All right, bye.
Thought you were gonna say. Anyway, all right, Dorpy.
Bravo, Dorothy.
All right. Dorpy is on that new special advertisement for the summer and had to green screen him.
love
That was
that.
interesting.
What was that? What does he say?
Be there.
Be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
love that ad though. That was some solid work, dude. Like
Yes.
it was like it went from like 80s TV commercial to very solid sports graphics that you'd
Yeah,
see
yeah.
on TV. Like yeah, with the and when people the and the
Yeah.
little lines come in, it's so good.
Oh man, I had fun
Yeah.
with that. I had fun with Ableton, and a couple weeks ago I spent like 2 days over a weekend just like, diving into that, which is
Yeah.
it's hard to do when you don't know the program that well. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I enjoy doing
jokes.
things outside the realm of motion graphics a little bit, So, but
Cool.
Awesome.
yeah, I think that's all we got for the drop. Is there anything
All
else,
right.
man? Are we good?
I'll
We
get the
good?
heck
that's
out of
it.
here.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna let
let's-
you go.
Well, I mean, we're gonna go back to the regular show, but we've
Yep.
got to continue this Star Wars discussion.
Yeah.
I know I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, David, send me your
Start my own
track.
podcast.
I know exactly where we
Yeah.
left off. I know exactly
okay.
where
Yeah?
we left off.
Let's
We'll
continue.
get back there.
All right.
All right.
Nerds. Okay, later.
If you have a drop coming up, or if you drop in on an NFT, feel free to shoot us an email, info@mograph.com. We'll pimp it on the show. But yeah, thank you for everyone.
All right. Let's get out
Back
of
to
here.
the other show.
Bye, everybody.
Is this the fucking mic? This is exactly what I should be doing.
Hey, look at that! I
See,
came back to the right graphics this time.
Yeah. on the drop, you need to have Dorpy on there as well, like pop his head up in the corner or something.
Be there. Oh, you
Be
are
there.
You are there. Yeah.
You have to tell
So-
me the origins of Dorpy.
The origins.
Yeah,
of,
what?
There are really no origins. It's I bought that puppet. I didn't know what I was gonna do with it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny, and then I decided,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, we'll just put him on the show and have him make terrible jokes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It worked.
yeah,
It does.
it does.
Yeah.
So where did you leave
Um,
off on your?
What I was gonna
discussion?
say is Kylo Ren is a good bad guy, right? And like you said, yeah, he's like kind of whiny and whatever, but I feel like that is so much like a Sith. A Sith is like they're just their emotions are entangled and they don't have
Yeah.
control of it, and that is
They're
so
underdeveloped.
much. Yeah, underdeveloped.
Can I-
Anger leads to the dark side, and it's like
Yeah,
that is
and I mean-
perfectly him.
I totally agree with you on that. But can I tell you the one thing that kind of drives me a little bananas about his character?
All right.
Sure.
Is Adam Driver?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look like his parents.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I know I
Right.
know that's kind of nitpicking.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to admit it, but when you put the two parents together, you're like, I'm sorry, but Kylo Ren is not your child.
Yeah. Well, I
and-
mean, it could have been, created from the Force,
It could
Yeah,
be a
the Force
mutation
made
in
him
the
look like
face.
that,
right?
Yeah, it could be the midichlorians kind of like warped his face differently.
and
or
his
something.
nipples. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it could be like Sith Elephant Man or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Elephant Sith. Yeah.
Right.
I'm rich.
I mean, Rey and him have this bond together.
Yeah.
I am not an
Yeah.
animal. I am a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm getting a short film idea going.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. Bring in Dorpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, if I was given the choice between the new ones, and the episode 1, 2, 3, I will choose the new ones
Right.
10 times over.
Yeah.
I tried them again, like
No.
episode 1, 2, 3 again, and it was like I got lost. I got so lost. I feel like
Yeah.
there's no good continuity to where the person can follow what's going on.
I mean,
You know?
but if you put the two trilogies together,
Mm-hmm.
the front and the back trilogies, it's kind of there's no continuity. It's not streamlined. But
I will,
what? It's like
I will
visually-
100% agree that the last three, like episode 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
they are straight up a ripoff of episode 4,
Easily.
5, 6.
Easily.
Like,
Yeah. Like plain as day.
episode, that episode 8. Oh, look, the Jedi is going to train under a Jedi master.
Well, some of this stuff they do
Okay,
on purpose.
you
Like,
know?
if you really dig down into it, there's certain things, even shots, that they go in and they line up that are exactly the same
yeah.
to make
Right.
parallels.
Yeah, and that's
But
important.
you've
you
got episode 1, 2, 3. They are completely different movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a
yeah.
point of getting to episode 3.
Three, and I agree.
That's what they were building on.
I'm on the same page with you with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Visually, yes, as we know, the last three were probably better visually speaking.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to that sacred cow that I mentioned,
Yeah.
it for me it really is the first three, because it was in his hands. Even though he may have failed, or
Yeah.
to some degree people may think that he failed, it was still in his hands. So even though we don't accept it, there's a morality behind it, where it's like we knew he had control of it, where these last three kind of were a big cluster F,
Yeah.
But that's my own personal opinion on it. For me right now, it's the original trilogy,
Yeah.
and it's Rogue One, and I'm happy as a clam.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6 are great.
What is the next?
They're good movies.
Yeah.
What
Oh my
is
God,
coming out next? Is there anything? Because what's next?
Man,
I think they're
everybody
just-
wants their own role. Obi-Wan Kenobi and all this stuff.
Yeah,
Mm.
Obi-Wan. There's the Obi-Wan
The
like
Kenobi,
show. Yeah, which is actually with Ewan
Ewan
McGregor,
yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch
Yeah.
it. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, is it going to have that Mandalorian Disney touch to it? Where of course
Right.
I'm going to see it.
It will.
And I love the Mandalorian. It's fantastic. And it's,
Mhm.
you have all these Easter eggs that you're like, oh my God,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they focus on stuff like the Krayt Dragon and things of that nature.
Right.
Super badass stuff, and I love that. But yeah, it's, some of the.
Then you got the Boba Fett,
Oh,
show
yeah.
coming up
Totally.
too.
Yeah, some of
Oh,
the
yeah.
dialogues. Yeah, that's right. The Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be sweet. Some of the acting's a little but
Yeah.
expect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I dug the Mandalorian from
It's all right.
beginning to end. I
alright.
know a lot of people were like, I want it to get somewhere. But I
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
like, I don't know, because it's episodic.
Yeah,
You can't give
exactly.
it all away right at the the beginning.
No,
You
no.
got to build off of it. And yes,
Yeah.
it was kind of formulaic, but that's the way a TV show is.
Yeah. And I
And
think
it's a space western.
yeah, it's
that's what
spaghetti
it is.
western space.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it's kind of paying homage to George Lucas as well in regards to that, But I also
Yeah.
feel like some of the episodes were a little lost in regards to kind of who was directing it. Like some felt like I was watching an episode of Xena,
Right.
or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Like, but every episode was the same. Like, the Mandalorian has one solid goal. We all know that he's trying to get little green dude from point A to point B, right? But it's like in between, he has
get some milk on the
Yeah.
way, and
he's got to get the milk on the way. He's got
Yeah.
all these little micro adventures, and so it's all part of, like you said, like the whole episode thing. But it's like they're kind of repeating the formula where it's like, you got to save this village from the.
Yeah.
yeah.
He always
Right.
makes a deal with people, and a
Yeah,
Mandalorian keeps his word.
Absolutely.
So he's got to do the deal in order to get the other thing.
He stops on a planet for a pack of cigarettes, and then before
Yeah.
you know it,
pack of galactic smokes.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's great for that, I mean, if you know it's going to be an episode and like that, episodic, then yeah, it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah. Bob
Anyway.
Walmsley in the chat here.
Hey, Bob.
Bob,
You
when
showed
is
up
that?
right at the end.
When is the GPU accelerated X particles come out? Come on, we're waiting for it. Like he can say anything.
Twiddling
But-
my thumbs, waiting.
We're all waiting. We're all waiting for it. Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, sneak peeks on XP on YouTube. I'm gonna have to go check them
Ooh.
out.
So
That
let me
GPU
ask you
done.
one last Star Wars question.
Yes.
If
Yes.
you got thrown down comfortably onto a desolate island, and you were by yourself for eternity,
Mm-hmm.
and you can only have one Star Wars film that you could watch over and over, which one would it be?
Oh, that's easy for me.
What is it?
That's Rogue
episode
One.
4.
Wait.
Episode-
I heard one at the same time, then I heard episode, and then I heard Rogue.
Rogue One for me.
Yeah. Episode 4. I'd choose that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's easy, and it's got a good beginning, middle, end, and it's not like you need to know anything before or after. You just
Okay.
there's no crazy spoilers or anything, where it's like, oh, I need to know more about this. It's like, nope, there it is.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
What is it for you?
I'd probably say Empire or Rogue One, but man, I don't have options here. I would probably say Rogue One. I hate to say it because I feel like I'm betraying the original trilogy, but I mean, just like, I mean, I don't know, man. Now you guys are stressing me out. I stressed myself out with my own question.
That's funny.
I'd probably say, I don't know, man. I'd probably say Empire.
Here's the thing: you don't
I'd have
have
to
to
say-
watch it.
Well, true, but you're on an island.
Right.
All you got is a couple crabs you can talk to. It's like,
Right.
I'm gonna watch.
Forget about the
I'll say
electricity,
Empire.
but yeah.
Empire's so good, man. I mean,
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Hoth,
If
Hoth,
you're talking about what is the best one out of the original trilogy,
yes,
Empire 100%.
yeah.
But if
well,
you're
like I
talking
said,
about what one would I be stuck on a desert island, those are
it's
two totally different
Oh,
questions.
Okay, all right.
well,
you know?
yeah. I mean, well, for me, like the prequels and these later ones aren't a part of the conversation for me personally. But
Right.
I get it. I'm kind of contradicting my own question here, but
Mhm.
it's out of all of them anyway. I would say probably Empire.
Yeah.
I mean, Rogue One's great because the battle at Scarif is like the tropical
Insane.
Hoth. It's incredible. It's this incredible, intense, fight. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I would probably say Empire. Stuck
Yeah.
on the island.
Yep. All right, let's get out of
Cool.
here.
Yeah, let's get out of
Yeah.
here. Andy, thank
Andy,
you
thank
so
you so
much.
much for being on the show.
You guys rock. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
We
appreciate it.
we should start a podcast together where we talk about punk
There
rock
you
and
go.
stuff.
Dude,
Or-
let's
Punk rock
do it,
and
man.
Star Wars.
I'm
yeah,
telling
punk
you,
rock and
hey,
Star Wars.
you know what? I'm going to end on this note if this is cool, but I once had a producer tell me when I was young and I was touring and I was a stinky little punk rock dude and I was getting hardcore into CG and the 3D and VFX industry.
Mhm.
My producer came up to me and he says, Andy, you can't continue like this. You have to choose one. You can't do music and you can't do the industry. And I told that I can tell that dude to this day to go F off because I'm doing both successfully.
Yeah.
So
That's good. That's really good. I'm jealous because I feel like there's so many motion designers who I feel are just failed musicians. As you can see, by,
Yeah.
by
But
this right here.
you
right?
have to have man, great. I see your line 6 back there, like the
Mhm.
Fender, all that stuff, but it's like it's so important to have that balance in life. Because let's do what we do with our industry and our passions in this industry, but you have to have your other creative side too. So be it music or family or whatever, you got to do it.
Totally.
God, I'm getting so into music right now. It's awesome.
Oh,
I can't wait to
Throw
do
on
some more.
Calm down.
I'm
man.
jealous.
Just-
I'm jealous.
God,
I bought Ableton, but I haven't been able to like really record anything.
Yeah.
It's so busy.
yeah,
I know
we
the
need to
feeling.
nerd out one day. I'll show you
Yeah.
like the tricks.
Let's start that
I've learned.
podcast.
Yeah, Punk Vader.
Yeah, let's do it.
Dude.
Punk Vader. Oh,
Punk
I
and
like
Pixels. Punk and
it. Punk
Pixels.
and Pixels. Yeah,
Punk and Pixels.
that's good. I like that.
Yeah,
Let's do
there
it.
you go.
All right. We'll
Cool.
chat about it.
Yeah.
All right,
You guys
we're
are awesome. Thank you.
gonna get out of here.
Andy,
You
where can people find you?
Oh yeah.
Well, if you want to see any Mad Microbe stuff, what the team's doing, go to madmicrobe.com. If you want to see any of my portfolio stuff, you can find me on ArtStation, or you can find me at andylefton.com, which is a little outdated. So I need to update that at some point. Or you can find me on Twitter, Andy Lefton. And you can also find me on Instagram, Andy Lefton.
Awesome.
Or LinkedIn, Andy Lefton.
Sweet.
Well, we're going to get out of here. You can rate us on iTunes, leave a review on your podcatcher of choice. It helps get our ratings up when you subscribe to us rather than just like watching on the YouTubes or whatever. You know what? Even if you watch us online, I know the majority of the people who listen to the show listen on iTunes, right? So if you do watch us somewhere else or you listen somewhere else, make sure you subscribe, help get our ratings up. You can subscribe to the newsletter as well. That goes out about once a month. I think we're going to do one next week because there's a couple guests I want to lock in before we send that out. You can say you've been there, done that, got the T-shirt with the Mograph logo tee, the Paul Babb, Feel the Babb 2020 shirt. That's classic. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. The Render
Nice.
Things T-shirt, hoodie, and long sleeve tee. The That Render is Fire shirt, which you're only allowed to wear, ironically, unless you're shams.
Unless you're shams.
And the, what else do I have left? The Mograph Blandishment shirt. Make sure you get that. I've got to go get myself a couple more of these shirts in the smaller size now because I put my Mograph shirt on in the XL the other day and it was rather large.
Yeah.
Rather large. I was almost to a 2X at one point. My XLs were getting
now
tight.
you need a medium or a small, right?
Large or medium. Now we're in the medium max on shirt, which is
Nice.
something I never thought I would do. But
yeah.
so I'm gonna get myself some new medium Mograph shirts to wear around because I'm just not wearing those other ones anymore. And maybe we'll come out with some new ones for NAB or something. And we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Mograph.com, and TikTok. Check us out on there. Follow us, like our things, and all of that. And there should be some more content coming there shortly as well. So,
yep.
That wraps it up, though. And we're going to get out of here. Until next time, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Andy.
Have a good one.
Later, yo.
Bye, guys. Cool. Should I hang up?
No, hold on 1 second. We're going to get the file from you.
284?
286.